Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
All right. Before I come on, I want to make sure everyone can hear me clearly. Just say Khan if you can hear me clearly. Everyone say Khan if you can hear me clearly. Shalom, beautiful people. How is everybody doing today? All right. I'm your host tonight on G.O.C.C. Media Tuesday nights. I am Elder Rawchaa. All right. Peace and blessings to everybody. Tonight we're going to have a good show. We're going to do a few call-ins tonight, like I've been saying. And it's just going to raise our bar and raise a few questions of how we can continue to build our kingdom, our temples within and within our local communities, our local, our households and everything, just to make sure that we are getting ourselves on track to be able to endure to the end in this time that's coming. All praises. Everyone can hear me clearly. That's a blessing. Yes, I'm going to be adding some more studio equipment and a lot of things in the near future, so get ready. We're going to have a lot of fun on here, man. You're gonna be like, wow. We always have to bring it for the Most High and His people, so we appreciate the support. And, without the support, we could not do this. Make sure before I start that you already know what we start the show with, that if you're a new person, if you want to join our church, obviously you can send an email to gatheringas1 at AOL.com, or you can send one to me at Elder Rawchaa at gmail.com, and I will send you to any of our regional or local elders of the Gathering of Christ Church, so that you can get yourself in a body and under an elder, because you don't want to be alone in these times as a sheep or a bull straying alone and get eaten by the wolves that are out there, okay? And we do have our Hebrew and Bible Academy. It's like our, little school or college, but it's not little at all. I'll tell you that. I don't even know why I use the word little, probably because I'm from Louisiana. We always say my little wife, my little this, my little that. Everyone's called Lil Wayne, little baby. So, anyway, definitely want to make sure you go to historytimes.org to receive more information, and get you and your uncle and your grandpa and your grandmother, your mama. Listen, they need to see these things. They need to know their true heritage. They need to know that we come from Israel. Okay, we are not Israeli, that we come from Israel, and that we are the true people of the Bible. And that's nothing against any race or nation, because a lot of times it's scaring our people away, thinking that just because you call yourself an Israelite, that you may be racist against someone or not like another nation. That's so far from the truth, because the Gentiles and the strangers came with us when the Most High split that Red Sea, and the strangers followed us, and some of them were living in the land of Israel, living among us in our land, following our laws, statutes, and commandments with our God. Okay. So that will never not happen. When Christ came back on the scene, Peter had a dream to bring the Gentiles back into the fold. Okay, because they were grafted in. A lot of you who are planters and husbandmen understand how you can graft trees and things like that, right? So the Gentiles can be grafted in. Don't listen to any other Israelite group out there, and that's no disrespect against them. But if you, as a Christian, are wondering why they're saying these things, now you understand why. You have some people who want to strictly follow the law, and then you have the Christian church who don't know about the law, and their pastors telling them not to follow the law. We are that perfect, and I'm not talking about the Gathering of Christ Church, but unfortunately and fortunately, our church preaches exactly what Christ himself says. He says, I come on the volume of the book. That means the Old Testament and New Testament. Christians, guys, don't think that he was out there preaching the New Testament. It wasn't available yet. He was preaching everything from the Old Testament. So he was in there. There was grace. There was Gentiles among us. There was peace. There was mercy. Okay. But it was, obviously it was way more strict, but just don't think that just because someone calls themselves an Israelite that they're racist. We have to get that thing out of our mind. Listen, we love all people of Christ, no matter what color they are. We don't love the world, though. I will tell you that. If you want to know what I have on today, because I know I'm blinding the camera, you can go to kingmansions.store, and you already know it's a priest who designed this shirt here. He is a Levite. He's my brother. Yeah, we have different fathers, so we have the same mother, but he is a priest, right? And that boy be shining. You already know Deacon Malak is shining. This is a get your mind right word puzzle. Okay, and you can see the word ahaya. I think that's ahaya right here. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but the camera's showing another way. But anyway, you have a live word puzzle. So while you're in the line at the store, people can be solving a word puzzle and the answers are on the back. So there you go. That's just a little creation there. How was everybody doing out there with this freeze before we get started? Man, we have a crazy freeze out here. Had to go out there and cover all of my beautiful fruit trees and pray to the Most High that they survive, because it's coming down to it to make me wonder if I should, with all of this allegedly man-made weather out there. In my personal opinion, I just don't believe that this is normal, that I should put all my fruit trees and keep them short in the greenhouse. It's going to let me know if my trees survive, or if I keep having to go through this, am I going to just build me a giant greenhouse and only keep my fruit trees in there and just keep all of evergreens outside for, a little beautiful design. Evergreens and flowers that I don't have a problem with losing. But the evergreens, they survive. But guys, when you spend thousands of dollars on fruit trees, that's warfare. That's literal warfare for them to take your food. Obviously, no one's really planting in the winter and things don't grow till spring. But guys, your trees are living, and yes, they're dormant in the wintertime. But some of your tropicals and things like that, depending on what zone you're in, I'm in zone 9A, they cannot survive these extreme freezes under 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's just a lot of work, and I had to make little greenhouses for most of my trees, and I have a lot of fruit trees, over 50 fruit trees. That's a lot, and it's making me wonder. That's all I'm saying. We just have to learn how to play chess and be able to endure to the end, okay? And you don't have to worry if you have mature trees sometimes, but sometimes you do. I've seen people who have trees that are 8 to 12 years old lose a whole tree, even if it's mature. So you guys be safe out there. We have people, we had an 18-wheeler flip over because of so-called ice on the road, people getting in wrecks all day. So it should be over if it be the Most High's will Thursday. And obviously, they're probably going to bring it again. They're calling it an Arctic freeze. And it makes me wonder, how are they predicting these freezes way ahead of time? And how is it just, even like in up north or the East Coast, we already know it's going to be cold there. But it's like the whole United States just gets cold out of nowhere. Used to be you can travel to certain places where it's hot, but we don't know how long that's going to last. To where now, even the places you can travel to get away from the weather, they're cold. It's just bad right now. But we shall endure to the end, shall we? I have a beautiful title tonight, obviously. What's more expensive, Is it the food? Because a lot of us understand the price of everything in the economy right now is at an all-time high. And yes, food is going to get cheap, but the food, once that food is cheap, you don't think you're going to be in good case, but some of that food may be not real food. Some of that food may not be real food. I'm waiting to see if these victuals are going to be so cheap or going to be actual, you understand, natural things and not genetically modified. All right. So as we go into the show, some of the videos and the articles that we're going to show today, they are all for educational purposes only and fair use. Okay. They are not our views. These are just presentations for educational purposes only. Okay. Make sure in this time, guys, you know that you should be taking your vitamin D3 plus K2. Make sure you stay on your vitamin D3 plus K2, especially in the winter. Don't, it's just very important. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. So let us go forth. But first, before I go forth, I will say this. I do want to play a song. I must play this song because, as I've been listening to this song, it was so fun for me to do. I'm just like, man, and I don't usually listen to my music a lot. Every now and then, just because I just keep putting the pen to the paper to make new songs. But I said, boy, this song was very fun. And fair use, you already know what it is. It is drip. So we're going to go ahead and play that really quick before we get started. Someone asked me to play it last time again, and I didn't get a chance to play it again. So I'm going to go ahead and play this song really quick. One second here. Let me get that back together, if you guys don't mind. Let me see. Give me 1 second, guys, okay? We're going to get this thing fixed up real quick. Sorry about that. There we go. We're back. Alrighty. Let us go ahead and play this song by our bishop. Okay. Our beautiful bishop out there in Philadelphia, Bishop Ahmad, a.k.a. also known as Hebrew Soul, my fly, beautiful, righteous, humble brother, featuring Lion and King, which represents Christ and his whole nation, the Lion of Judah, the King of Israel. You understand it encompasses all of Israel. Okay, everything is embodied in that name. All right, so all praises to the Most High. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it.
Yes, I like this. Trip. 6 in the morning, on my way, on my job, sounds cliche. Truth about my God, start my day. Got my feet, my shades on, Eris I can say all day long. I trip so hard, I trip this on my God, shining like the brightest star. Stars were made to shine, that's why you made all of Israel fly. Higher than the highest mountain, 'cause you're my God. I trip so hard, just like an angel. Thanking you are higher, for example. Glorify your God in your temples. Thank you for your shine, you're the kingdom. I trip so hard, I trip just on my God, shining.
drip, drip, straight dripping, drip, 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 straight dripping. I know you see me, I be coming down. Ice water, man, I know you see the drip. Take it slow and easy when I move around. You shy, you're walking now, I'm feeling like I'm lit. Dressed in all white with the first day legit. Whoever said that a king can't drip like this. See the glow, believe me, I need it every time. He see the confident, the drip. The drip is the spirit, the drip is the shine in the spirit. This drip ain't no diamonds, it's richer. The presence of drip, it shines in the room, they can feel it. See, this drip be blinding the wicked. Them signs that was given. That doctrine, that word, it be dripping. That's due like the rain, so I'm sipping. Yeah, on that new wine, I can feel it. Be eating the bread from the body.
From the chambers like heaven, I entered my father. He planted me seed and I entered the garden. Then dripped out the faucet. Don't think I can stop it. Might need a plumber. I'm trickling, drizzling, dropping and raining. Waterfall drippity drop, then I drain it. Bear fruits of the spirit like Jews in my ear, man. I'm blinging, I'm flaming. No homo, my glow so Komodo is dangerous. They scared to come close, so I had to say fear not like angels. Man, hop in the whip, it look basic, but it's how you see it. To me, it's a spaceship. Life what you make it. Chances I take it. Abraham, patience and faith, not from Jacob. Former creator and innovator. Drip so hard, man, they got me in the forecast. Made a hater slip, now I need forecast. Hair brush like a boat when it's riding my waves. Face like the clay, mind like a cave full of juice. Mind and wisdom like diamonds and jade. That's how I be rhyming this way. It's lying and king.
Who said we couldn't be fly for the most high?
Oh boy. You say, yeah, drip them faucets. Listen. Drip them faucets because it's freezing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All praises to the Most High, man. It was a blessing for me to be a part of that. That there, you understand, and all praises to the Most High. I enjoyed that. That was very fun. That was an experience, man. I want to give a shout out to all of the people who are submitting verses for my mixtape, Lion and Kingdom Come. I'm choosing some of the songs, whether they're going to be on my album or my mixtape. Boy, you got a lot of fire artists. My brothers in Detroit, good Lord. Woo, man, listen, I didn't know, Detroit, I've been here in Detroit, but I didn't know they had that much fire up there. Boys, and listen, one thing about me back in the past, I was known to know how to get the right people together and just to make the proper hits. Boy, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is I don't like to say, I'm not gonna say this is gonna be one of the hottest mixtapes. Listen, it's just gonna be a blessing to our nation to have all these beautiful brothers together coming on here spitting lyrics. I'm talking about, when I say spitting lyrics, you can tell that they've been doing this for a long time. And that's, to me, what's missing from the so-called hip-hop. I don't really care about hip-hop anymore. I care about truth music. But, man, these brothers are coming with it. So shout out to y'all brothers. I mean, everybody everywhere on every side. New York, you understand, London, UK. I got some brothers from everywhere. You understand, because we are everywhere. So it's going to be a blessing. Just look forward to it. And it's going to be some fun. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. I hope you're ready. And you got some music you're going to be able to ride to work out to still feel like a soldier and a austere man. Okay, so man, it's going to be a blessing. And my Christian people out there, it's just showing you that there's all sorts of praise music, all different types of music, poetry, spoken word, music from the choir. Listen, man, we can praise the Most High in all different types of ways. I don't know what they're doing out there right now with this young brother named Lil Nas X. I don't know what he's doing. And listen, if I was a Christian, if I was a so-called true Christian, I would not be letting a young man like that, if according to the book, I believe, says the contrary. he apologized. He made an apology to so-called the Christians about this so-called Jesus Christ video he did. But he doesn't really even know the book. So we have to pray for the young brother, because the people who are over him should know a little better and have a little bit more respect. Not a little, but more respect for other people's beliefs and religions, because they make people believe theirs, and they call them anti-Shemitic if someone says something against theirs. So it's just really hypocritical, in my opinion. So but anyway, man, shall we get started today? Shall we get started? I wanted to talk about a topic that is very similar to what we've talked about before, but don't think that I'm not going to put you in remembrance and the new people who comes along to talk about these things, and as time goes by, continue to discuss them even more, because the food is changing every day. The daily sacrifice is changing every day, meaning the continual employment. And obviously, if you want more information on that, you already know where to go, historytimes.org. So because the robots, the artificial intelligence is moving in very fast, creeping in very fast. So that daily sacrifice, that time that you have to spend every day to put food on the table, to put your daily bread on the table is just slowly running out. And I don't say that in a fearful mindset or a doom and gloom presence. I'm not standing on that. I'm just saying that we have to face the reality of what's coming. For years, we have a lot of different stories growing up where my grandma we used to eat this, or we used to do that. And with all those stories, there was a lot of good, and there was some little bad in between. But yet and still, the food was still stronger to where people were living longer. I remember when we were young in the country, boy, in Louisiana, we were eating some of that molasses syrup on white bread. The only problem was that I wish they would have known that white bread is not good, right? But we survived. Maybe we survived because they had so much molasses. That steen syrup, that steen, unrefined, yellow can of molasses, 100% molasses. Boy, we used to be little kids in a line, like the little kids in Africa, running up to grandma, and she's like, hey, get that white bread, pull that bread out, pour some syrup on that thing, and hey, hit it. Get up out of here. Go back and play outside. That was those old days, man. I was probably about I can't remember my age. I was young. My mama told me I was very intelligent, very active at a young age. I was running through the cornfields probably like 3 years old, just running through there by myself. And the crazy part, they have rattlesnakes and stuff out there. Guys, I'm running the streets young in the country. In the country, you out there. So, but anyway, man, those are the old days. And now we are in a new time where we are faced with all sorts of challenges and variables when it comes to choosing and picking our diet. And we all mean well, and we all have good intentions. Sometimes I go to a local store here called H-E-B. Howard E. Butts, that's his name. He owns that. And I don't mean any jokes on his name, but that's his name. But it's a very nice store outside of Whole Foods, which is very expensive. But H-E-B has some quality things. You have Kroger's. We used to have Albertsons, but I sometimes see my brothers going to the bakery, and I feel very bad. I feel pressed to go and tell them, like, hey, brother, do you know that I'm going to be honest with you. At least 97% of things in this bakery is bioengineered now. About 2 years ago, everything was not bioengineered, or what they call genetically modified. Genetically modified organism, that's what it means for those of you who are new. I used to go there and get me a few cookies, but I probably shouldn't have been getting those cookies. And I didn't get them because when I'm working out, it adds to my calories. So it didn't really affect a person like me very much. But obviously, long term, eating anything will affect you when it comes to these processed foods and these manifold preservatives that they put. And now they are deeply embedded because they are using QR codes to where you have to look on certain items, or packages of chips and all that to make sure if your food is genetically modified. They're hiding it, guys. So we really going to have to do some work and not get tired of working if we want to preserve ourselves, as Christ said, to endure to the end. Okay. We have been taught and spoiled to think that the old way of life is a boring way. And so that's why they understand that we are tropical, colorful type of people. We are fruitful people. We love style. We love, you understand, imagery. We love the outward appearance. And we've been taught to focus so much on the outward appearance that you can go into the store, obviously, and see gummies, and whose face is not going to light up when you see all them gummy bears if you grew up in America and you see a nice a root beer float or a cream soda? Let me tell you, I can't tell you I'm not going to go in there and get me a cream soda, but I had to find a better way to get it. I had to find something that was a probiotic soda. It's about $2 for that soda, but I can still be able to drink a natural probiotic soda. It's $2. Back in the days, you get a soda for what? 25 cents to 50 cents, right? And then it moved up to 75 cents. So now I say every now and then, me and my wife go in there. Maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks, we might go shopping and say, hey, you want to get one of those probiotics or prebiotic sodas that's in there? So, every now and then we might get that. We might have a pizza at Mod's Pizza or any type of place that makes the pizza natural. And we will have a little cream soda as long as it's one of the good ones, like we're saying. So it's just really sugar at the end of the day, unless you're getting some highly processed things. But it's becoming a headache for people because we have new terminology out there. Instead of genetically modified, they changed it recently, I think a year to a year and a half ago, to bioengineered. And they had to start actually putting out that if their product was bioengineered, and then every week you go in, a new product is bioengineered. You have the Jiffy cornbread. They used to have the vegan cornbread without lard or pork in it, and you go back the next week, before you know it, that is bioengineered now, and your favorite other products are bioengineered, and it's just becoming amazingly difficult to be able to go to the store. But I think that the Most High spoke about it, and I don't know if he intended it for that way, but I will say that it's a blessing and a curse. One, we can learn how to be more independent. It makes us forced to learn more about the old ancient way of living, how people were living longer and more healthier, more vibrant, and to prepare for emergencies on the regular. It just really, it unifies us. It forces us to become who we're supposed to become and who we used to be to a certain degree. You're not going to be able to get everything right. So, and obviously the curse of it is that we all can get sick. And we have to go and pay these expensive doctor's bills, whether through our own personal cash or insurance. So it's time for us, in my opinion, to probably start thinking about these things and putting them into a course of action, because we might think that we're saving more money by buying cheap items. But when you compare that to when you go to the hospital or doctor's bill, you're looking at most doctor's bill on average $30,000 to $100,000, depending on the procedure. Or you understand, and then you're like, hey, I had to spend $6 on this margarine $6 on this butter instead of this margarine, which could possibly kill me. According to the research out there, remember, we're going to put it out there that none of these things are my opinion, the church's opinion. These are just things that are out there online as research and studies, okay, and articles. So it's just for educational purposes, only for people to have their own mind to be able to choose what's best for them in their diet, what's best for them in their budget and their wallet, right? So I'm here tonight to educate you guys. I don't know everything. None of us can claim to know everything, but as a people, we need to be moving towards a better alternative, healthy lifestyle than the way we've been living all our lives. Some of us never drank water when we were young. We were drinking, when I say never, obviously, that's a little much, but we were surviving off of Skittles and soda. And you're like, when's the last time I drank water? That's how you know our God loves us, because Christ said that you shall eat poisons and not die. Guys, all of these extra, preservatives and, things that are processed, a lot of these are poison. These things were not in our food in the ancient world. Everything was very basic, but very nutritious, because the earth has everything it needs. When the animal's eating the things from the earth, and what's in the soil will directly come into our body, and our body recognizes it as food, what the Most High called clean. So Christians, we want to help you understand that we are not trying to go around telling everybody what they should be eating and what they should not. We're just strictly saying this according to the Bible. And I believe that we should pay attention to it. Why? Because when you look at most of our people, because the numbers don't lie and the patterns don't lie, we are failing from so many autoimmune diseases, whether it be from people deciding to take their own, medical measures of putting things inside of their bodies, whether it be injections, whether it be steroids, whether it be, there's just a lot of research out there, and people are taking different measures. And when you weigh them in the balance, this is all I'm going to say. When you weigh them in the balance, because I have to be careful what I'm saying here, a person really has to decide, according to the research and the studies, which one is harming us and which one is helping us. Right? When it comes to antibiotics, when it comes to organic foods, is organic foods overrated? We're just throwing the question out there for the people tonight, because people think when you go and tell them you shouldn't be, in their opinion, eating pork and this and that, and why the Bible says it, that they're saying it just to so-called judge them. No, we're not judging you. Judging you in the past would mean condemning you for something you did against the law. And sometime, unfortunately, that punishment will be death, considered death. Stoning to death, or burnt with fire, or whatever the case may be. Going outside of the camp. You are unclean until the evening, or whatever the case may be. But when you look at what the Most High put in the Old Testament and in books like Leviticus, and you look at modern day, they seem to be, you can't continue to call something a coincidence, how our people are eating certain foods the Most High said that were unclean, that seems to be, allegedly, and according to numbers and research put out there, that it's harming our people, guys, more than it's helping them. So what I'm saying is, Christians, brothers and sisters, should we not trust our God and to do what he told us to do? Because do you really think that he's going to make a mistake? He's perfect in all his ways. What he says good is good. We don't want to get caught up in who should eat meat and who should not. All we care about is what God called good. Now, we will bring some scriptures out tonight to show that Christ himself, because you do have vegans out there who bring a certain doctrine, that he did eat meat and drink liquor or wine. He drank it, and he drank it moderately as the Bible intended, and there's scriptures on that. So we're going to show these things. So let us go ahead and jump into a few things right now and give an example of what we're talking about here. Where do I want to go first? First, someone sent me an article. Brother Dawada, thank you for sending me this article. People are sending me news. Like I said, you have professional Instagram people out there. And I mean, hey, I appreciate it, because guess what? It helps me. It helps me and the elders to be able to, get the news that we need. So let me get this really quick. And then we're going to go there really quick. I want to show you this article that someone sent me today. Once again, this is just for educational purposes only. Oh, that's not the link I wanted. There we go. Come on now. Give me my link. Don't try to. There we go. Y'all ready? Make sure you hit the like button as we go in. Make sure that's looking good on the screen. This is for fair use only. And we got this link from TysonFoods.com. This is not something I made up. This is just merely news that we are looking at tonight. Okay. So, Tyson Foods announces partnership with Protix for more sustainable protein production. All right, so let us take a look at this article really quick. Probably you guys don't know or never heard of Protix, and I hadn't until today when I looked at this article. But let's read a little bit more about it. Now, we have already been hearing about some things that have been going on with Tyson's Foods in the past when it comes to some of their processing meat and things like that. Now, it seems like, I don't know if you want to call this an improvement, but they're partnering up with a company. And it's funny because some of the things that I used to buy from Tyson, like some of their frozen meat back in the days, I said, you know what? I'm tired of these companies getting recalls and this and that. I'm just going to stop purchasing their products. It seemed like they put that product back on there and then they had an alternative. You can buy this product that was recalled and you can also buy this product that's this. I really wish that they would just put out what the Most High called good and leave it there instead of having so many options for the poor, for the middle class, for the rich. Everyone should be able to afford a nice diet. Obviously, that's not the realization of how this world runs, but guys, we have so many options of food, and it's just like, do they really care about the image of God? Whether we live or whether we die? Or are we like a walking benefit to them when it comes to them making money off of us? Right? It's just like we're walking, we're just walking, like just sitting ducks almost. When I want that duck, I'm going hunt for that duck. Boom, 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 boom. We're just all potential candidates for incentives when it comes to finances for these institutions. To me, in my opinion, this is my opinion. This is not, the partnership represents Tyson Foods' commitment to continuous innovation, business growth, and working towards sustainable solutions, opening a new revenue stream while accelerating Protix's international expansion. All right. Springdale, Arkansas, October 17, 2023. Tyson Foods, one of the world's largest food companies, has reached an agreement for a twofold investment with Protix, the leading global insect ingredients company, guys. So they're talking about insects here. The strategic investment will support growth of the emerging insect ingredient industry and expand the use of insect ingredient solutions to create more efficient, sustainable proteins and lipids, which means fats, for the use in the global food system. The agreement combines Tyson's Foods' global scale experience and networks with Protix technology and market leadership to meet current market demand and scale production of insect ingredients. Through a direct equity investment, Tyson Foods will acquire a minority stake in Protix to help fund its global expansion. In addition, Tyson Foods and Protix have entered a joint venture for the operation and construction of an insect ingredient facility in the continental United States. I wonder what type of insects they're using. Let's see. Upon completion, it will be the first at-scale facility of its kind to upcycle food manufacturing byproducts into high quality. How can you overprocess something and now turn it into high quality? Sounds like the tree of good and evil to me, right? So yeah, they're saying they're going to upcycle food manufacturing byproducts into high quality insect proteins and lipids, which will primarily be used in so they're just saying primarily. They didn't say it's not going to be used for human consumption, but primarily be used in pet food, aquaculture, and livestock industries. is that not usually how it starts? My people, is that not usually how it starts? Don't forget that they were chipping animals, going out there to the animals when we were children before we had this knowledge. And we were wondering, why are they putting these devices on these animals? Why are they traveling thousands upon thousands of miles to Africa and places otherwise to put tracking devices on these animals? Little did we know that they will be tracking humans today. And this is not something I'm making up. This is just the actual truth, that they are tracking humans, and there's devices that they can put in humans. We never thought that they would try to put them on us. Now, those of us who were smart probably said, hey, they're going to be putting that on humans later. They're losing little children to say, you know, maybe we need to put this in them or that, this friendly device, this GPS tracking device. So if you lose your phone, or if you lose your child, or you lose your dog, you can find them. You see? But let's bring it back to that. I digress on that. Let's get back on subject. Our partnership with Protex represents the latest strategic investment by Tyson Foods and groundbreaking solutions that drive added value to Tyson's food business. So maybe it's more for their business and not for the love of all humanity, right? As the Americans claim that they have patriotism for. We are forgetting about the fellow human brother, like they say out there, what we call the image of God. A lot of these things, guys, in the past would be inhumane and considered to be, not beneficial to our human rights. But guess what? They don't care about these things anymore. Just to drive added value to Tyson's food business, said John R. Tyson, Chief Financial Officer of Tyson Foods. The insect life cycle provides the opportunity for full circularity within our value chain, strengthening our commitment to build more sustainable food system for the future. They want you guys eating. Let me tell you, they want the population eating just whatever they think is good. Are we supposed to follow what you say is good or what the Creator said is good? Are we running out of that much food, that much space of land to where we have to resort to alternative insects? We got insects all around us. If we want to eat some insects, we can just go grab a few insects. Okay? We don't need you to turn that into a delicacy for us. Okay? We don't. And we would like to see if you guys are eating insects too. It would be nice that you try some of these things as well. On TV. And we want to see the same thing that you're giving us that you take. We would love to see that, but obviously that's not going to happen, right? The insect life cycle provides the opportunity for full circularity within our value chain, strengthening our commitment to building a more sustainable food system for the future. So let me jump to the part here. One second here. Because I saw the insect that they were using here, and I would like to... One second. There we go. About Protex. Here we go. Make sure you hit that like button as you come in, if you don't mind. Please. We want to drive the traffic here. You guys been doing good every show, obviously, but it's just a reminder. Protex is the leading company in insect-based ingredients for healthy and sustainable pet food, aquaculture, and livestock feed and organic fertilizer. Everything that's organic, guys, does not mean that God calls it good. I'm going to tell you that right now, so do not be fooled by that. Don't be fooled by that. The company is on a mission to create low-footprint ingredients. Low-footprint ingredients that solve major issues. Are they saying meaning things that don't walk? I'm confused here. Low-footprint ingredients that solve major issues in the current food system. Protex contributes to a circular food chain by using waste from food industry as feed for the black soldier fly. Here we go. BSF. You have to be careful when they labeling these things. You need to know what they are. BSF. If you see that on your food, you already know. Hey, black soldier fly. I wouldn't be shocked. Just like when they came out with the so-called thing, the scorpion juice they were putting in people's arms, and they got Juvenile to come out telling you to vax that thing up. That's fair use. It's just, for humility. But he was saying, V that thing up. I wouldn't be surprised if they got black soldier flies that they let him bring that song out again. He had put out your soldier rag. Your black soldier fly. Get your black soldier fly. I wouldn't be surprised. They give that brother a bag. He's coming out telling you, get your black soldier fly for lunch. Huh? These brothers do anything for money nowadays, huh? In turn, don't do us like that, Juvenile, please. Please don't. In turn, the insects are processed into valuable nutrients. Pay attention to the verbiage. They're taking black soldier flies who are eating trash, and there's nothing wrong. Flies were made to decompose things. Them and their babies, their maggots. This was their job. That's normal. That's not the part I'm worried about. It's now them taking the black soldier flies. In turn, the insects are processed into valuable nutrients. Hold up. I think somebody didn't know I'm on the show here. Yeah. Sometimes people forget we're on the show. That's all. All right. In turn, the insects are processed into valuable nutrients such as proteins and lipids. Protix's customers use these proteins and lipids as high quality ingredients for feed and food. Moreover, residual streams from the I'm reading this thing carefully. I'm like, wait. How you turn flies into high quality ingredients, guys? Wait. There's no way. You can't turn flies into high quality ingredients, especially for humans, maybe for chickens. Maybe for chickens, but not for us. Maybe for lizards, but not for humans. Oh boy. Moreover, residual streams from the insects are used as organic fertilizer. So whatever they don't use from turning it into lipids and proteins, they're going to take it to fertilizer. This way, insects close the loop and bring the food system back in balance with nature. As long as these things sound intellectual, scientific, they understand that a lot of our people's reading levels are very low and that we would not be able to understand what they're saying. They come on TV and say, Burger King is dropping our new BSF grilled, juicy, lovely burger. Flame broiled just for you. You didn't hear the BSF. You thought it was talking about, what do they call it? What's that word you guys use out there? BFF? Or something like that. I don't know what you use. Best friend? I don't know. They think they're going to think that in their subconscious. And they put that thing on the grill, dripping with steam, like Burger King does. And there you go. Good old Israelite comes in the market. Comes into the Burger King. Get that wrapped aluminum foil BSF burger with, charred onions and you understand, iceberg lettuce and diced tomatoes. And with your added topping of jalapenos or jalapenos. You got some Esau that say it like that, your jalapenos. Texas BSF burger. And you think B means beef. It ain't Black Angus. Black soldier fly. You see? Yeah, that's what it means, best friend forever. I don't do all of these little social media things, but I get it. There you go. Boy, based in the Netherlands. Look at the Netherlands. They are minding their business all the way over here. They're minding our business, all the way over here. Netherlands, stay in the Netherlands. Stay over yonder. Over there. Stay far away from us. We don't want France's bugs that they call a delicacy over here with our people. You can keep that over there. We didn't ask for that. And guess what, guys? Regardless if you ask for it or not, it's now your time to do your job, to stop buying just anything. And I'm going to tell you how I know you can afford it. You can go half with each other on a cow to buy enough beef. Local farmers in the church or outside of the church, whatever. You can get raw milk from, there's a place right outside the corner. Now, my goat is pregnant, so I'm going to be getting some more milk from her. I have a cow that's milking right now. I don't have time to milk her right now, though. But I'm saying you can do these things. You can do these things. You can get these things. Now, you're probably like, but Elder, they charge so much. Yeah, of course they charge much. They have to put in the work. This stuff, see, they taught us that BSF, the way that they market it in a nice bag and the way that they, the way that they bring the marketing to you guys with the color and the effects and the red. They use red in marketing a lot. Right? And they repetitive commercials that you're thinking that this is the good stuff. And all they do is understand that most of the people will always be consumers. And if you always want to stay in the consumer mindset and you don't have your own business mindset as a producer, they understand that you will never get it. You have to stop falling for their Wizard of Oz tricks, guys. The good old basic lifestyle is going to come to fruition soon for those who are, homesteading and going towards that lifestyle. It's going to come to fruition that was always the best way of life. Because then later they're going to start saying, hey, well, we're seeing people with more cancer and more this and more that. And we hate to say it, but we think we're going to have to take our BSF burgers off the shelf. Don't think it's far-fetched at all. I'm going to show you an example. They're having to take things off the shelf that are already natural. Boy, based in the Netherlands, Protix offers the first in the world industrial insect facility. Like, these guys are doing this with pride, guys. Opened in 2019 with breeding, rearing, and processing under one roof. Oh boy. Where you work at, brother? Hey man, I work in the Protix, man. What you do for a living? Man, we reproduce and we make black soldier flies. Oh, for real? How does that work? Oh man, you don't want to know. The company has complete control of the production chain and offers reliable, high-quality supply of the Egyptian plague of flies. As the front runner and industrial leader, Protix has laid the basis for a broad range of applications in feed and food. So they're feeding people the Egyptian plague that the Most High, before He split the sea, have given the ancient Egyptians according to the scriptures. They didn't took it's like, you know what? These flies still hanging around Egypt. We gonna drop a giant net, bring them to the Netherlands and process them and send them over there to the United States. While over here, we're eating organic. We're not eating GMO and all that. Because in Russia, they ban GMOs. They ban a lot of things that they allow over here. And all of these European countries, that most of these items like ketchup, Heinz ketchup, you guys have to start getting better ketchup. It's okay to buy the organic one or make your own, whatever. There's a lot of different alternatives now. But if you keep eating the things that are banned in other countries, what do you think is going to happen, guys? Do you think that's why this show came on tonight? Do you think it's going to cost you that much more money just to buy something that's worth it for you and your children and your family? Or 6 months to 5 to 10 years down the line, you're crying because you've come up with some type of autoimmune issue and you have to pay this crazy big doctor bill. Which one is more expensive? Weigh it on the balance. You may think you're saving $5 now, but will you guess what? That $5 can turn into $500,000 later in the doctor's bill. I'm just provoking thought here. All right. The company is now expanding internationally to deliver its solutions on a much broader scale. Protix believes in the power of partnerships and actively seeks collaboration with forward-thinking players to unleash, look at that, to unleash the potential of insect ingredients for the world. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Or you can't be kidding me right now. Yeah, people complain about, that's right. People complain about reading labels and stuff. Listen, our people are suffering from a lack of knowledge. So we have to want to start learning more knowledge, wanting to read. Don't forget that old saying they say that you hide it in a book from us. Right? Let me open this next link here. Fair use. This is all fair use and for educational purposes only. All right. Hold up. We got the flies here. Let's check out these flies here, guys. All right. 1 second. Let me move this thing over for you. Whoo, what do you see here? What do you see here? Medlineplus.gov. This is not something that Elder just made up. Okay? So we were just talking about flies. We understand that in the Bible, the Most High used flies as a plague, and that they are an unclean thing, and that even in the law, if a bug fell in your pot, that you would have to throw out the whole pot. The whole dish is done when that bug fell in there. Flies may carry diseases. This is just educational purposes only. Flies may carry diseases such as hepatitis A, typhoid, amoebic dysentery, and polio by contaminating food or water. Overview: a fly may act as a mechanical vector of diseases such as hepatitis A, which means the fly carries the ineffective organism on its feet or mouth by parts and contaminates food or water, which a person then consumes. Y'all like the sound of the Protix? Let me know. Who likes the sound of the Protix? Knowing that flies not have the potential, but this is their regular course of action on a regular basis. Their job is to decompose. Right? So let's continue. A biological vector actually develops an infective organism in its body and passes it along to the host, usually through its saliva. A fly can be a biological vector, as in the transmission of leishmaniasis by the sandfly. There's so many different types of flies. Do you know that when a fly lands on your food, I know a lot of people says it throws up. It does. It throws up some type of enzyme to make that area liquidy so that it can now do its normal job of decomposition, decomposing your food or whatever the case may be, because that's what flies do. And then they will furthermore lay maggots inside or whatever the case to help break it down even more. This is what they're trying to bring on your dinner table for your daily sacrifice of going out working to bring back in good old Tyson Foods. You go up in there, and I know you see that good old chicken up in that freezer. I know you see that good old chicken up in that freezer, that good old finger-licking chicken, huh? As long as they put that little frozen crisp on there with them breadcrumbs, huh? Then you forget about everything. Oh, girl, all we got to do is throw that in there real quick. We ain't got time to be doing all that. I understand. But life over here is totally different from life overseas in the Middle East. You have to prepare and work for everything. And over here, it's a hard task to do. So we're going to have to work 10 times harder just to be able to prepare our food. That's the only reason, like, lots of people have been migrating in their mind to start to live more below their means, because they realize, do I really need this fancy car? Do I really need this fancy house if I'm eating bioengineered foods? Because all of my money is going there, but shouldn't my money be going to, I can still live clean. Maybe I'm not going to be living like and that's not to say that a person can do all of both, but we're generalizing it for everyone, to where a person can now have a little extra time, or a person can be able to do a lot of these things, because it's coming down to survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest is not always the person who has the most money. It's what does a person know what to do with their money, and the knowledge a person has when it comes to eating a clean diet, drinking clean water, exercising, and good rest. Lots of people have the misconception that you have to eat such a big plate just to get full. When a person, I've heard people say, hey, your stomach is the size of your fist. Now, I know I got a pretty big fist. My fist is almost the size of my head. But but I'll tell you something. I don't know how true that is. I haven't done the research on that part, but I'll say this: when you eat the foods the Most High intended for us to eat, you are full very quick. When you eat the bread that Christ ate in his time, when you eat the meat, regardless that time or this time, when you eat this meat, when I'm talking about meat that's not processed, when you eat complex carbohydrates, when you've eaten healthy fats, when I say fats, I say healthy fats. When you're drinking clean water, let me tell you, compared to the modern day processed foods, you can eat a processed food plate this big. And when you have the density of what the Most High created, because it takes time to break it down, even to the salt, how the salt is so dense, you can't put that much salt. You're like, I'm so full already. That's because your body is letting you know I have enough nutrients. You eat a big old plate of processed sugars, the wrong types of fats for the body, and the wrong starches and everything else processed and bioengineered and whatever's out there that the body is not used to. Guess what? Your body is telling you to keep eating because it does not have enough nutrition. Spiking your blood sugar so high, having your hormones and blood sugar all over the place, high amounts of soy, bringing down a man's testosterone, over-processed alcohol, because a lot of people think you can just go and get a cheap bottle of alcohol. It's not true. I've tasted some alcohol overseas from the rich. I've tasted some whiskey one time that was so pure and light, it's almost like I was drinking water. It had no taste to it. And I don't like whiskey. He was like, man, please just taste it. I'm like, nah, brother, I'm good. $100 shot. We were performing on his boat, on his yacht. He gave me a little shot like this or that, and I promise you that whiskey tastes like water. So I wouldn't be able to afford it, but an everyday shot like that. But what I'm saying is there's different, all liquor is not even made the same. So you have to be careful. That lowers a person's testosterone as a man. Men's testosterone already goes down from age. That's why we sell ultra tests. You better make sure you get you some and take it every night, and you will not regret. You will not regret it. You're going to be like, why am I tightening up so much, and why am I able to build muscle when I couldn't do it before? Because you listen to your elder. So, but anyway, I digress on that. And also it causes you to have more fat problems when you overdrink. So we really have to start deciding to balance our pockets, our wallets, and what type of foods to eat. We need to be searching for density. Or they're going to give you what they have, guys. Insects and whatever else is out there. Let me go to this little fair use. Fair use. Someone sent me this. Excuse the language. This is about food that they're pulling from Walmart. How many of you out there get great value? I also know that everyone's trying to save $1. I'm not against that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that at all. But you can still save $1 by just buying what the Most High had intended. When we were overseas, guys, they didn't have the beautiful seasonal. They had their own type of seasonal. We had to make our own seasonal. Everything was so basic. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes, because we live here so long, it could be a little depressing. Less like demotivating. But then we learn to live a little better and get acclimated to it. We were like, you know what? We feel healthier, better. We don't have to eat as much. And it was just like kind of crazy. So don't count it out just yet. Okay, so you guys will get great value. Be careful. Everything at Sam's is not good because Sam's is also Walmart. So be very careful. And I notice a big difference in some of their items. Not all of their items, but some of their items, you have to be very careful. Fair use.
They are pulling food off of Walmart and Sam's Club and all these places. If you've eaten any fucking great value food, all right, frozen foods, Kool-Aid drinks, or even anything else great value, all right, they're saying that this shit came from Mexico and is fucking contaminated with hepatitis. They've known about this for months. In 32 states, they're pulling it off, including the state that I'm in right now, Arizona. If you've had any fatigue, if you have brown pee, if you had some weird stool or anything, all right, get checked out immediately. This has been going on for months, and now they're pulling it off the shelves, and they're doing this before the FDA comes out and says anything. So you know it must be a big fucking deal.
Not lying, y'all. As you can see up there, FDA alerts public of expanding strawberry recall over concerns. And basically what they're talking about is the great value products.
That boy said basically. Woo! Come on. There you go, brother. Bring that info.
Hepatitis, man. It's causing hepatitis, man. They having to recall these things in by the loads. So tell your people, make sure you tell your people. I know y'all.
I know these people can't stand the fact that we got our brothers who, the Most High woke our people up. This brother said basically, and let me tell you, he basically brought all the information out that, unfortunately, some of these things that we like in our household and in our freezer, that they had to do a recall on them because they contain forms of hepatitis. They didn't say whether it was A, B, or C or whatever, but can you overcome some of these things? Yes, you can. Obviously, you will be immune to it after it goes away out of your system, but some people, they say that it, according to research, that it stays in if they have a weak immune system. But I'm just going to say this to prevent it, guys. Be careful what you're buying. We pay when it comes to convenience. We're paying through health and finances when it comes to convenience. Seriously, guys. I mean, who would have thought that you couldn't go in the store and get strawberries? Who would have thought that you couldn't? And I'm going to tell a lot of you guys, I know a lot of you are drinking the Simply orange juice and all that. Be careful. They found it in all. I don't drink any. Listen, if you ever come to Elder, if you didn't juice that yourself and you didn't clean that fruit, I'm not going to drink the juice you bought from the store. Don't ever bring me any juice if it was not one of the expensive. And I know you probably like expensive. Yeah, because that's what I buy. I will buy that for myself, and I will buy that for you too. So I'm not telling you I wouldn't buy it for you. I go to it's another whole section where it has fresh squeeze probiotic juice with soil-based probiotics in there for the gut and all that. Fresh juice. This stuff that's from Simply Organic and all that. Nothing against them, but they said they had a recall too on their juice. When you have a recall for me one time, I'm letting you go. I'm letting you be. You will not get my money again. I don't drink their lemonade. You guys, start buying you a juicer. And I'm gonna digress in a second, but speaking also for people who have these doctrines out there that, you know, you're supposed to be doing this and you're supposed to be doing that. We're just preventing options and just different alternatives for people. But you have these know-it-all people, and yes, some people probably been doing it 30 years. That does not mean because you've been doing it 50 years that is right. Just follow the Bible and what God said is good. A lot of people don't know. You didn't have refrigerators in Israel. You didn't have blenders in Israel. Yes, you had a mortar and a pestle, but what are you going to be taking a mango and a hot apple and putting it in a mortar and pestle and putting that thing up in there? You have no ice. There's no ice available. So you drinking some hot juice that's about to send you to the bathroom somewhere. There was no blenders. There was no juicers. It's not that you couldn't juice it, but obviously you're going to be drinking warm juice. So don't let these experts tell you it. And guess what? That's why I said in this captivity, we are blessed. We're able to do fresh squeeze, cold pressed juice. We're able to have all of these things at our access, but we also have a lot of process and chemicals out there as well. So let us thank the Most High for the things that we have access to. Some things you can take you a little solar battery, and even if the power went off, you still got something to power that blender up. Just a little handheld battery. It's a lot of things you can do. But back then, guys, these new people on YouTube who are telling you, oh, I only juice and I only do this. Listen, guys, hey, it sounds nice, and guess what? It's healthy. And praise the Most High. I'm using it now because you can do that. But in all reality, they're trying to say, oh, we didn't eat meat. So did we juice? Did we juice and did we blend? Where are you traveling to go get the ice from? Where are you traveling to get the ice? Are you waiting till it's winter to juice something? And now you're drinking something cold? That doesn't make sense. So, guys, don't fall into every so-called health expert, because we're going to teach you once again, what does the Bible say itself? Not that these things are not good. We're also going to teach you that some people who decide to be vegan, the Bible says that they can do that. Vegan or vegetarian, whatever one they want. But when it comes to the Passover, we're to take the Passover. You have to decide, if I'm taking this journey here, how much do I want to weigh? If you want to weigh very light like a feather, you can eat vegan or vegetarian because you feel light and vibrant. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to find out what's good for you. But you cannot tell someone that they're going to be able to run through a football team, turn into a vegan. It's just not going to happen. There's a such thing they call men of valor. Men of valor had to eat meat. I'm sorry. They couldn't just eat bread or beans. They had to eat meat, and that protein, which is the most bioavailable protein on earth, proven fact that beef is more than any protein besides lamb. It's going to stout their body and give them stature. It's not that a person can't look good without doing that. We would never say that. But they will have to eat a lot more of those proteins to equal up to that man. There's just no way around it. It's already been proven. If you see a man telling you that, he probably has genetics and he's already a big guy. So he doesn't have to do much to keep up that frame. But on average, a natural high metabolism having person, guys. You thought black people calves were skinny. Boy. So I'm just saying, you have to decide what's best for you. You have to decide what's best for you. So what I'm just saying, don't get caught up into the meat doctrine. Don't get caught up into the vegan or the vegetarian doctrine. Do everything balanced and what the Most High said good for you. And don't argue about any of these things, okay? Everyone doesn't want to be big. Everyone doesn't want to be small. All things are not profitable for all people, as the Bible says. Let us go to, since a lot of people out there also have the mindset that, people also have the mindset that everything organic is good. We also have to watch that, guys, because sometimes they will pass that up on you, and you will think that just because they called it organic, that they don't have negligence in the way that they prepare their things as well. It can happen to anything, guys. All right, so I'm going to bring this video out for educational purposes only again, and we're going to bring it to you. And you let me know what you think on it. All right, fair use. Get that fixed up for you. There we go. Let's check it out. KTVB7. This is their own version of it. This is their own opinion, their own, their own news. This is not our views, all right?
Organic frozen strawberries are being recalled due to an outbreak of hepatitis A. Those strawberries were sold at Costco, among other non-local stores. The FDA is also recalling organic tropical fruit blend sold at Trader Joe's. These products are being recalled. Look at your screen right now. You're going to see them. If you have them in your home.
How many of you have bought those before? Be honest. I have bought those before. I can't tell you the last time. It's been a few years ago. And guess what? It was before they start saying this. But I'm going to tell you what. I'm putting this out there for my people, and whether Jew or Gentile or not, or people who's not even in our church, you should educate yourself. It says non-GMO, it says organic, but they still have bad things inside. So it's almost like, yeah, I can buy things, I can do this and do that, and I know the Holy Spirit is going to protect me, right? Because we have the Spirit of the Holy Spirit to protect us, but we still have to educate ourselves and do our best to try to know where to shop, which company is good, and try our best to, in my opinion, to try to be self-sufficient in a lot of these areas. Bartering, trading with different people in the church, like I said, when it comes to if some people have big, great gardens, and it's a lot of different things you can do together, guys. We have to start thinking about these things. This is 9 months ago. You got the Simply orange juice and the lemonade. Same thing happened.
Throw them out. Symptoms of hepatitis A are serious. They include fatigue, abdominal pain, jaundice, abnormal liver tests, dark urine, and pale stool. Illness can happen just 15 to even 50 days after exposure.
So now you've eaten these strawberries and something's lying dormant inside of your vessel. And guess how wise it is for that demon. You blame it on something that you just did recently, and it said that it can happen to you 50 days later. Almost a month and a half later, you don't realize that you have this, and you can't even think that it came from this, because guess what? No, I bought that organic. I could trust them. Listen, you can't trust anybody but your own hands when it comes to your food sometimes. So that's why even when it comes to feast and all that, we make sure that people... We have a master of the feast here, Mr. Kodash, went to school for this, understands foodborne illness and how to prepare dishes to make sure that none of these things are going to happen. This is important. Some people are putting things together and don't know, hey, you put that together, that can happen. Or you put this together, a person may have food allergies. All of these things are important. These people are just tossing strawberries, guys. They're organic strawberries, but what if a lot of them fall on the floor and you didn't know it just because they're frozen? So be careful. Freeze your own fruit. These people in their mind, when they go to work, the customer service is gone. America has no more customer service, guys. It's gone after the serpent's poison they put in people. There's no more customer service. You have to go out your way and do your research. This is turning into a third world country. Every day I realize that the customer service here is gone. I remember when I was young, they would go out their way for you. You have to make them feel you now, intellectually, through your education. I had to talk to this lady on the phone today, and I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. Because my wife's talking to her, trying to keep her sanity and keep her integrity. And I said, oh, yeah. She's probably thinking that you're just some black woman. You know, even though my wife is very intellectual. But I said, excuse me, ma'am. Are you having a good day? I'm like, yeah, because you don't sound like you're having a good day. You sound a bit rude here. My mom, one thing about my mom, she showed me how to handle these people on these phones. And I'm saying, you sound like you have no regard for this situation. And guess what? You know, the way people been handling us, you also sound like a robot. Like you just have no soul inside of you to care about what we're talking about here. Let me tell you, as soon as I told her that, I don't know what's in me, but I just tell you something. I have the spirit of David in me where if it's a giant, I'm running up face to face to the giant with no fear. That's just in me. And I do it with all respect, but her whole spirit changed. That's how you could tell she was dealing with a demon. Because I'm going to come to that demon like, I serve Yeshua, who have the key to the bottomless pit over all demons. I got the, let me tell you, that's better than the pinky ring Solomon had over all the demons. You understand me? You know I said pinky ring. But yeah, man, so we have to go out our way now. We have to go out our way now. Through knowledge, studying to show ourselves approved doesn't just mean the Bible. Study and season yourself with the things that you want to be successful with in your life, with your diet, and your health, since this is what we're talking about tonight. Alrighty. Let me you've seen this one before. We're going to go into a few scriptures here. We're not going to even read this one because we went into it before. Fair use. Japan scientist synthesizes meat from human feces. You remember this one? I just showed y'all that a few weeks ago. Somehow, and this is from Yahoo News, somehow this feels like a Vonnegut plotline: population boom equals food shortage solution. Synthesize food from human waste matter. Absurd, yes, but Japanese scientists have actually discovered a way to create edible steaks from human feces. Excuse my language, but this is just what it is. So, how do you say this guy's name? Mitsuyuki Ikeda, a researcher from Okoyama Laboratory, has developed steaks based on proteins from human excrement. Tokyo sewage approached the scientists because of an overabundance of sewage mud. Really? So they also always try to act like they're trying to save the planet. Captain Planet, he's the hero, gonna take pollution down to zero. If that ain't Joe Biden's family member right there who was singing that song. The green. How they're trying to do, the green movement. You see? You never thought that you would be living in real life Captain Planet. I'm going to have to go back and watch it now to see like how we're living in. I'm going to have to go back to watch it seriously to see how, I'm going to let my children watch that thing to see how they are doing the same things they're doing in that little cartoon. But anyway, I digress. Tokyo sewage approached the scientists because of an overabundance of sewage mud. Really? Look, brother, we got too much sewage mud over here. I don't know what you're going to do, but I got a little hustle for you. Maybe you can turn some of this stuff into meat. And as long as they call it science, which the Most High called science falsely so called, they are able to get away with it legally. Everyone else has to go to jail for selling illegal substances, even though I'm not for that. I'm just saying, all of that's bad. But listen, hey, it sounds like a little hypocrisy here. How can a person with common sense turn something that is unclean, that God calls unclean, and he told us to go outside of the wilderness, outside of the camp to deal with, and bring that and turn it into food, guys? How? Science falsely so called. Tokyo sewage approached the scientists because of an overabundance of sewage mud. They asked him to explore the possible uses of the sewage of Ikeda. Found that the mud contained a great deal of protein because of all the bacteria. The researchers then extracted those proteins. So you got some dude who they call a scientist. Listen, I don't call this a scientist. I call this a dude who liked to play in mud as a kid, past the stage of building sandcastles. And mama didn't tell him it was time to come in the house, and he probably shouldn't be playing in that area. You see? And then you put a jacket on him and like, hey, he's a scientist. Because no one else is going to take this job. And guess what we found in it? We found some proteins. How did you find proteins? What did you have to do to find out that there were proteins in that? The researchers then extracted those proteins, combined them with a reaction enhancer, and put it in an exploder, which created the artificial steak. The meat is 63% proteins. All your bodybuilders, there you go. Let me tell you, you're going to be like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, hero in a hash gel, turtle power. You know why? Because the only thing a bodybuilder thinks about is protein. Well, they got protein in it. You be careful for some of those bodybuilders, guys. All protein ain't good protein. Like they say, all money ain't good money. You got bodybuilders, as long as there's protein in there, they will go buy it. The cheapest protein on earth. As long as it say protein, I don't know what that is. Simple as a day's old. Why they got bumps all over them while they working out? Cause you taking the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle proteins from the sewage. You didn't took the little, see, what's his brother's name? Ikeda. He didn't threw the little sewage. You remember the little thing they used to have on Ninja Turtles? He didn't threw that thing down there, and somebody took it and drunk it like a protein shake. 63% protein, and then turned me into a Ninja Turtle. 25% carbs, 3% lipids or fats, 9% minerals. It has everything the body needs, right? The researchers color the poop meat red. And look, they actually say this in the article. This is totally disgusting. In my opinion, this is totally disgusting and it's uncalled for. The researchers color the poop meat. It says this right here. The poop meat. So they're telling you what it is. Red. With food coloring and enhance the flavor with soy protein, which takes a man. It's been proven in research, not according to what I'm saying, that soy takes a person's testosterone down. It has a person's hormone all over the place, even women, if you overtake it. Initial tests have people saying it even tastes like beef. Who tried it? Who tried it? Or are they just putting this out there and just saying that people said it? A lot of times they'll come out and say that people said something, and we want to see them do it on camera. We would like to see them do it on camera. We would like to see you transfer it from. We would like to see the whole transition on camera as a tour. And I'm never going to eat it, but I'm just saying we would like to see that so the rest of the humans on the planet can know what they're purchasing. We're tired of just taking your word for it. We would like to see the whole transition from the sewage. Yeah, hey, we got to put the COVID suits on. Excuse my language, but we're going to need the whole suits because we're not understanding how you guys are not getting sick. I'm starting to believe that, hey, this stuff that just happened in 2020, how is it not happening there? How is it not happening there if you guys are taking out things from the sewage and you're always talking about Africa? You guys are taking things out of the sewage. Well, we're wearing scientific lab gloves. How are people not going to get a sickness from eating unclean things? Is that a bad question for us to ask out in public? When the whole world just stopped from a so-called unclean thing for many years, this has happened. All these different colds and flus out there. And now you're telling me this is clean and guess what? No one's going to get sick from it. No one's going to have to take some type of thing in their arm for it. Boy. We can't question them because they're scientists though, right? I tell you, guys, we have to think. Let us go to Sirach 30 and 30 really quick. Sirach 30 and 30. Is that where I said? Sirach. I hope it's 30 and 30. I think it is. Let me see if that's it. Did I say Sirach 30 and 30? Or do I mean 37? No, 37 and 30. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Sirach 37 and 30. I apologize. I wrote it wrong. I had it already up here. So we already know this. So I'm not here pushing meat. What I'm saying is, if you start to understand how they've been pushing this thing against what the Most High told us what was good, you're going to find out a few things that you don't believe everything that they're saying. Actually, I also have a book here that I'll reference, Forever Strong, A New Science-Based Strategy for Aging Well, by Dr. Gabriel Lyon. I'm not telling you to go and read it, but what I'm telling you is that I was inspired to order this because I've been studying for a while now the lies on red meat and how it's one of the most bioavailable proteins and most powerful proteins on earth when it comes to not only muscle, through research and science, losing weight and keeping the muscle. Not just if you're one shape and you're kind of, out of shape. When you tone down, you keep the good muscle instead of you're looking like this up there, but then you lose weight, but then you're still looking like that when you come down. No. That red meat is so powerful in that aspect. And guess what? You can go and one day, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do a show on it one day. And I'm not going to be promoting it that everyone should eat meat. That's not what I'm promoting. I'm saying I'm just going to give you the education on it, and you can decide what you want to do on yourself. I'm going to show you how people have healed themselves from all numerous things according to what they're saying. And I can't tell you how it helps me. And how people say, oh, you shouldn't do this every day. I have doctor's proof I'm going to bring that he said I've never seen a person allergic to it or going through, because he said I've seen people allergic to shellfish, to crustaceans, but I've never seen a person come in and hit in my practice having problems from red meat ever. So are you telling me that our Levite brothers who were taking all of the sacrifices were wrong? Those of you out there who are claiming you shouldn't do this to the animals. However, they are called livestock for a reason. They're stock. It's like you have your canned goods, right? Or your canned foods. But these are walking livestock. You have those stock on the shelves. But these are walking livestock. That's what they were made for. So, I digress, but that when the people are promoting all of these things to tell you now what to do, sometimes you need to do a little research on it, because why was our people eating it so much? When I say so much, do I mean overboard? Obviously not. Look at Ecclesiasticus 37 and 30. What does it say? For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. Well, you can have colon problems and issues. That's not what we're talking about. Overdoing anything. You overdrink water, you drown your system. You overtake nutmeg, you can hallucinate. You overtake salt, you have too much sodium. You oversleep, you become lazy, your back start hurting. You overdo anything. So don't let some people tell you it's because they've overeaten and they've had an issue, or they had some medical things, because we all had some type of shots when we were small, that this research is not true. Find out for yourself and do your research and see what's good for you, because I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to the cells, when it comes to the whole immune system in the body, that's all I'm going to say when it comes to that. When it comes to a man feeling like a man and so strong and powerful, keeping the most powerful healthy skeletal muscle. That's just one of them. This is just one of them. Okay? So I'm going to put that out there for that. We already understand, and we don't need to talk about overeating something. So don't even ever say for me, myself, that I'm saying you should overeat this or do that. You shouldn't even overeat vegetables. You shouldn't overeat anything. You should fast sometimes. You should pray sometimes. Everything that you do must be balanced and fine-tuned. And guess what, guys? What I do know is that when we came out of Egypt, the Most High allowed us to clean our systems out from all of the old way of eating from Egypt. That's another reason why when we came out, we didn't have certain meat and all that. We had to go through a total cleanse from the old ways of eating unclean things while we were in Egypt. I wouldn't doubt that it would happen again if we came out to cleanse our systems out. We were fasting when we came out of Egypt. It's all type of things that when it comes to fasting, how it rejuvenates the body and the cells and the stem cells and all that, according to research. Okay? And then when he told us we went into the land, he told us all the things that were good for us and that we could eat. We're going to talk about it. So what I'm saying is, I know I digressed for a second, but what I'm saying is, don't get discouraged because everything is not for everybody. But what I'm saying ultimately is that you think you're saving money by going cheaper. When you just go back to the diet that the Most High said, it may cost a little more, but you don't have to eat as much of it. And you might save you a little money and keep yourself from being sick and having to go to the hospital to pay a giant and big doctor's bill that none of us can afford to keep paying. Right? Hope I made myself clear there. Luke 15 and 27. Now, I'm only bringing these scriptures out just really quick for those. I still hear people sometimes texting me who is not in my church or DMing me, telling me about things that they have no clue about. And I'm like, what church are you under? What leader are you under? When these people ask me these questions or send me certain videos, that's when I know that they have no clue about what they're talking about or don't have that knowledge. And I'm not condescending, but I'm like, okay, this person is just following me. I'm going to always check who's sending me a message of news or whatever, who you are, and what church you're under. That's just what I'm going to do. I don't want anyone just spying out my liberties and just following me, because we may not even agree, and this person's just watching what I'm doing, and you understand? So, no, I have to bring some of this information out for the new people, for people who just may not know, and for the naysayers. Luke 15 and 23 really quick. What God calls good is going to always be good. He never changes. So you didn't come down special to change anything. All of our righteousness is as filthy rags. And we're not getting in because we follow only just the law. But this is a part of the law, that a man can eat this. This is one of the things that he can eat outside of vegetables. Just so you know. When you chop that vegetable once again, you've taken it from the foundational source of the roots. So it eventually doesn't last as long unless you go and buy it from the store where it's sprayed. So if you're a husbandman, you know that you cut some of these vegetables. If you don't know how to preserve them, they do not last as long unless they're sprayed with preservatives. So you're also killing vegetables too when you don't think you're killing vegetables. They are alive. The Most High made for us to kill things that are alive. Why? Because they are more fresh. We're not eating dead vegetables or dead animals. Okay, we're eating them fresh. Now you have freezers. That's a little different. Back in the days, there were no freezers to preserve anything. Yes, you could dry the meat though. You could can it or do whatever the case may be. Right? You can dry it and turn it into a pot, whatever you want to do. But what I'm saying, ultimately, we'll kill it and then we'll eat it fresh. Same thing with the vegetables. They're still, the freshness doesn't last forever is what I'm saying. It transitions and it goes back to decomposition to go back and feed the earth. Okay? So you're doing no different when you're eating meat or vegetables. They both You have to take a life in both. You put a seed in. The seed is living. If the seed is not living, how does it come to life? It's the same thing as an animal. So we have to stop that part. The plants communicate just like the animals in their own little way. Believe it or not, I watched the whole documentary on it. Water is living. Water is living. The Most High commanded the seas to do all sorts of things. Life came out of the water. We are all drinking and eating living things. We just need to do what the Most High called good, okay? So just really quick to jump off topic for a little bit to show people that our Lord and Savior, the angels and the prophets, it was okay for them to eat meat. Just so you know. When it said that we were eating herbs for meat in the beginning, I give you herbs for meat, that wasn't the only kind of meat. Okay? You need to get in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Go to historytimes.org and then you can get a whole plethora of information for it, all right? But I'm just going to give this to you here. The prodigal son. Verse 22, but the father said, you see it? Okay, cool. But the father said to his servants, bring forth the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. And bring hither a fatted calf, and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. He's saying, as an Israelite, go and go deal with this calf, this cow. Go and eat it, and we're going to be happy. They were not going to be sad. There was not going to be any sad people like, I can't believe you killed the animal. Oh my goodness, he had life. Yep, and God gave him life for us to take it and eat it. When we needed to sustain ourselves for sustenance. It's just what it is. Okay, same thing for the vegetables. The vegetables, you walk in the garden and they look so beautiful, they so colorful, you don't even want to touch and mess the vegetables up. But like I tell my children, what you gonna eat, air? You gonna eat the vegetables? We're not gonna be like the YouTubers who have the gardens and they don't even eat from the garden and they buying everything from the store. What's the point of that? You have to eat your livestock and your vegetables. That's the way God made it. Okay? Alrighty. Really quick, I want to go to Luke 13 and 34. I just want to show you something. A lot of people say, where's chicken in the Bible? Because we love fried chicken, right? It's in the Bible. We had pets. That's why Christ told Peter, before the cock crow, you're going to deny me. Luke 13 and what did I say? 1 second. 34. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which killest the prophets and stonest them that are sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered thy children as a hen doeth gather her brood under her wings, and ye would not. All he's saying here, he's comparing us to a hen gathering her little baby chicks. We had pets. We had roosters. Guys, I can't read all of your questions right now, and it's KIIYsupplements.com. I'd rather you ask the questions after class, if you don't mind, Sister Yolanda. It's KIIYsupplements.com, okay? That's my company there. But I rather want to focus on the lesson, and I'll answer questions a little later when I do the call-ins really quick, if you don't mind, because I don't want to get off topic. 1 Kings 19 and 7. 1 Kings 19 and 7. It's okay, according to Scripture, to eat what the Most High called good. That's all we're bringing this out for, so that our people don't get swayed. Our people come up with doctrines because they've come from the old camps. People are making things up and all type of things. No. There's times where a person's body, because of what they've been through with certain things they put in their body, that they may not be able to eat red meat or certain things. Everyone's different. Okay, but I'm going to be honest with you. On average, it's just not true. On average, it's just not true. There's certain people with crazy ailments because some people have whatever they put in their body is worse than others. So they have to take a different approach. And sometimes they won't even try that, not knowing if that can actually help them. When I may have to go into this one like Elder Rawchaa on Twitch. I may have to go into this with him on Twitch, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to put it on YouTube, but there's a person who have changed her, all of these so-called things she was dealing with only eating a steak and a potato and some water and black pepper and salt every day. And that's a total fact. So I just can't put it on here. This is what she's saying that she did for herself and many more. I'm going to show that another time, though. So there can be no naysayers for this, because you're just going to be wrong. All right. So, and the reason I know that we were eating some of these things too in the Dark Ages, our sisters were a nice size to where they were a nice shape. Some people prefer to be very slim, but Esau had to wear petticoats to be thick like our sisters. It's not just from eating cornbread only. You have to have certain amino acids and proteins to actually have a certain size. That's just the reality of it. That's just the reality of it. But everyone has their own choices and what they want to be and what they want to carry on their bones or their heart or whatever. Okay? So the whole Old Testament, our people are bringing sacrifices, the whole Old Testament, and eating it for the feast days. Alrighty. Let me go here just to show you that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So let us go to verse 4. Talking about Elijah here, the prophet Elijah on his journey. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die, and said, "It is enough now, O Lord. Take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers." He's like, I'm going through all of this. Like, I just rather be resting in the bosom. That's what he's saying. And as he lay and slept under the juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, "Arise and eat." He looked, and behold, there was a cake baking on the coals. This is not talking about a birthday cake, Christians. This is talking about sometimes they would make bread that was like flatbread. Sometimes that flatbread even had meat inside of it. They still do it in Egypt. It looks like a nice wafer, a big round wafer with meat stuffed in it and all that. Okay? Yes. And sometimes they have bread that looks like a nice little cake of bread. How we make it in a round pan of wheat, of whatever, flour, iron, corn, and all that. Okay, this is the type of things that they were eating back then. And he woke up, and I'm telling you the truth. I'm not guessing here. This is a fact. He woke up, and he was eating something the angel put there for him. Oh, you shouldn't be eating weed and this. Who said you shouldn't be eating wheat? Did the Bible say that? You shouldn't be eating genetically modified wheat. You see, there's a difference. You shouldn't be eating genetically modified wheat and bread that possibly is sitting on the shelf for so long. Who understands when you bake a loaf of bread that it doesn't last that long? Who understands when you have fruit off your tree that it doesn't last that long? That's why they tell you in the stores that they spray wax, sometimes beeswax, sometimes different resins or waxes to preserve the food. They spray gases and waxes on them. You must clean them off. Even when you compost them, it's better for you to be careful and have some little baking soda or dishwashing liquid. You know, sometimes people even use a little bleach, vinegar, whatever, lemon, because you decompose all of these chemicals into your soil as well. So you got to be careful. All right. So, verse 6, and he looked, and behold, there was a cake baking on the coals. He baked it right on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink and laid him down again. So you have people out there telling you don't drink water, only eat fruit, eat with H3O. Well, the angels himself, water is how it's in us. How is someone like some of these people out there going to tell you don't drink water? The angel gave him water. The Most High saw that water was good. He made the whole earth from water. Now you have some human who thinks that they're smart because they've studied a few things, science falsely so-called, and they're telling you that water, we shouldn't drink water, it's not enough. Well, they gave us water when Moses hit the rock. Okay? So we don't listen to anybody who tells us to call bad what the Most High called good. So we're not just talking about meat. You got people saying don't even drink water. They telling you you should only juice fruits. Okay? I never seen the Most High juicing fruits or giving anybody fruits in here. Even though we should eat that too. Because he told Adam he can eat it in the garden. And he did eat and drink and laid him down again. And the angel of the Lord came again the second time and touched him and said, arise and eat because the journey is too long, great for thee. So he's going on a great journey. A person who eats steak every day like myself, every single day, knows that when you eat that, your energy is crazy. You're going the whole day. Really, for the most part, you don't have to eat because you went in the strength of the meat, as he's telling Elijah here. Check it out. Verse 8. And he arose and did eat and drink and went in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb, the mount of the Most High. You see that? He went in the strength of that meat. And what was the most meat that we were eating, guys? Calf. That's the most meat outside of goats and sheep that we were eating. Okay? So what am I telling you? Why did I tell you that? Why did I tell you that? I mentioned a lot of things. We're going to go into another show for some of them, but you're like, isn't chicken a lighter meat? No, listen, guys. When it comes to iron, when it comes to vitamins, omegas, when it comes to these things, let me tell you guys something. The Most High didn't make a mistake. That's all I'm going to say. And you're thinking, I'm spending all of this money on all of this food, Elder. What, this don't make no sense to me. You don't have to eat as much anymore. You didn't have to buy so much food. Because all of this little amount of food you have, you're looking at it in the cabinet like, you sure that's going to do it, Elder? Let me tell you, when you buy density, when you have complex carbs, meaning like brown rice, black wild rice, you can't eat so much of it. You're already full. You got the natural bread that the Most High was talking about. We're going to have a whole lesson on that in the near future. You're not, you know them little them plates that they give you in France with the little amount. Now you got to have a little bit more than that. We still Israelites. But you're like, I can't eat anymore. Guys, we're going to drop it on you. We're going to drop it on you. We're going to drop it on you. So I got some lessons I'm preparing for that. And we're going to help all the people because we think we have to buy all of these things to fill us up that don't have nutrients. But you're going to have to fill up that bank with that money for that doctor's bill. So be careful. Okay? So, Luke 24 and 36. I had to just bring, I can bring these all day. I can bring these all day. But we don't want any naysayers and uneducated brothers and sisters to try to be with you to think that what the Most High called good is not good. So we have to just once again kill this again for the new people who may be coming on the show. Luke 24 and 36. Luke 24 and 36. We have to deal with it. When you eat the Most High's way, you don't have to eat as much. And your body stays more healthy, lean, and vibrant. Trust me. All right. One second. There we go. I see it. Y'all ready? Educate yourself to know that Old Testament, New Testament, Christ is still following the law in what he's doing. Whether it's drinking wine, whether it's eating meat. We're going to bring that here just for educational purposes, okay? We don't need to argue. We're just going to read you what the scripture says. So, verse 36 says, and as they thus spake, Christ himself stood in the midst of them and said unto them, Peace be unto you. But they were terrified and affrighted, and supposed that they had seen a spirit. And he said unto them, Why are ye troubled? And why do thoughts arise in your hearts? Behold, my hands and feet, that is, I myself, handle me, and see, for a spirit had not flesh and bones as you see me have. So Christ, even coming back in the heavenly body, you still can touch him and see him. And when he had thus spoken, he showed them his hands and his feet, even though he can walk through the walls and all that. And while they yet believed not for joy and wonder, he said unto them, Have ye here what? Have ye here any meat? Have ye here any meat? What the Most High called good? I'm coming down from heaven. I want some of that good meat y'all got down here. And they gave him a piece of broiled fish and of the honeycomb. Because don't forget, vegans and vegetarians, whatever you want to call them, and I know it's a difference. I know it's one, some stay away from dairy and eggs. I get it. They're telling you can't eat honey. Christ is eating here honey, and he's eating fish. All right? And he took it and did eat before them. Once again, people thought that Christ didn't eat meat either. He ate meat with the disciples on the Passover, and he also ate meat when he came back from heaven. So don't let any unlearned people tell you you can't eat what God called good. We just had to get that out there because we still have that spirit going on. We still have it going on. I was going to show something on this man here and how this so-called thing that they're telling you not to eat, this red meat, is so bad. But once again, him and his wife, let's just say he said from his own mouth, and you can watch it yourself here. I'm not gonna show the video. Fair use. 1 second. Because I want to do a whole study on this and show you guys. For the naysayers. This guy here, Jordan Peterson, reports back after 5 years on a carnivore diet. Am I telling you guys to go on a carnivore diet? No. Because sometimes they take it too far. Some of these people, they will be starting to eat this thing with just blood and not even cooking it. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that there's some people who did cook it and only ate that. And let's just say they ate it every day. A lot of times a day. At least 3 times a day. And most people, they eat it twice a day. And oh yeah, if you eat this twice a day, you're not going to be able to digest. Let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. And the studies show that women who suffer from things of iron, that's all I'm going to say. I can't add the rest. Those who have ears, let them hear. They like, hey, you eat that twice a week? Hey, I don't know. Yeah, something like, yeah, I'm just saying. You trying to get fined? I don't know. Hey, I'm just saying. I can't put everything together. Christ said sometimes, because I'm on YouTube, those who have ears, let them hear. And guess what? It does take time. It takes patience. But if you watch that interview, go and see how much he said it helped him as weight and all that. And you're going to be like, how deep does the rabbit hole go? Just listen to your God and find the right way to get it. Find the good places to get it. That's all you have to do. Alrighty. We're not done yet. I dropped the depth on you. Yeah. Some people don't understand the depths of Satan. But I'm going to tell you right now, we here at the Gathering of Christ Church, That's why we have the Hebrew and Bible Academy. We're going to knock them upside the head with all due respect. Historytimes.org. Go and get your mind right. Fair use. How many of you grew up on this? Margarine. How many of you been trying to tell your parents and grandpa? That's why your stomach is going through this. That's why you're having all of this acid reflux. That's why you're having these gut issues, because you're choosing the... So let's just educate some people tonight on trying to save. First, before we even go there, watch this. You know what? I'll do that after.
Proof that we're going to tear that apart in this video, and I'm going to give
fair use for educational purposes only. This is this doctor's views. This is not my views or opinion. I'm just telling you. I'm just showing you what he said. For those who have ears, let them hear.
The old argument: which one is better for you, butter or margarine? We're going to tear that apart in this video, and I'm going to give you incontrovertible proof that one is much, much better than the other. Not only is one better than the other, one is much less dangerous than the other. What you're about to hear may go directly against the advice you've gotten from your doctor or your nutritionist or dietitian, but I promise you these are black and white facts that you can look up and verify. And what they told you was an outdated opinion that needs to die. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician with 20 years of clinical experience. And let's compare the facts about butter versus margarine. First of all, butter is a completely...
One thing before we go ahead, I will say about Esau, they're trying to live long. The Bible said that Esau would be weaker than Jacob. They're trying to tell you what to not do while they're doing it. They're trying to go and take these steroids and do all these other things to keep up with us. So at least we have some good ones out there who are like, hey, I got to keep it real with y'all. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to live long, and I might want to put it out there.
Natural substance that human beings have been eating for at least 5,000 years. Margarine is literally made in a chemical factory, and human beings have been tricked into eating it for about the last 90 or 100.
I used to tell people about oil all the time, and we had a person who was dealing with something, and she would eat some of the expensive oils that I bought, and she said, hey, my body did not come in flame from eating this oil. And we're going to talk about some of the oils that I cook with and that some of you cook with, and some people probably they should try out according to the research and the education out there, according to what the Most High said was good.
Years. Butter is full of hundreds of different kinds of healthy fatty acids. All the fatty acids in margarine are chemically expressed from vegetable seeds. It's a very unnatural process. Butter has 24 milligrams of calcium in each 100 gram serving. Margarine has none. Butter actually has 2.5 milligrams of vitamin C. Yeah, vitamin C per serving. Margarine has none. Butter has over 3,500 international units of real vitamin A in every 100 gram serving. Margarine has none. Butter has essentially 0 trans fats, and up until a few years ago, margarine was...
Listen, everybody can use what they want. We're just putting it out there. And I don't want people putting in the chat, I use this, I do this. Yeah, that's good for you. But what you're doing, that's for you. All we're saying is, listen, you or no one else will ever be able to tell someone what the Most High called good, not good. Butter, yes, fats have to be eaten reasonably. But do you know that, according to research, eating healthy fats helps to burn off fat? If your body doesn't eat fat, it will hold on to it. So you need healthy fats, or you will have bad cholesterol, according to research.
Trans fats until the federal...
And you're talking about a person whose father used to work in the oil industry, in the cooking oil industry. He saw a lot that I can't say on here. All right, so I'm going to tell you.
Government stepped in and forced the manufacturers to remove the unhealthy trans fats from margarine. There's still traces of trans fats in most margarines, especially stick margarine. Also, if you cook with margarine, anytime you heat it up, you greatly increase the number of trans fats in the margarine. Butter also has vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin K2, vitamin B12, butyrate, look it up, it's very healthy, conjugated linoleic acid, and omega-3 fatty acids. Margarine has none of these. This is not even close. Butter wins by a complete knockout. The only reason margarine was ever touted to be healthy in the first place was because of millions of dollars in advertising that the margarine company spent to trick you and to trick doctors and nutritionists into.
This is his views. This is not our views. This is not the views of the Gathering Christ Church. We're just putting this out there for educational purposes, and we're seeing his views on it. He says he's a doctor. Ken D. Berry, MD.
Thinking that margarine was healthy. The people that did believe it in their heart of hearts were tricked. And the healthcare providers that recommended margarine to you just did not know what they were talking about. If you're surprised by what I just said in this video, you might consider subscribing to this channel because all of my videos are all.
So there you go for that. I want to show you guys something really quick. Just as an example really quick, right? Let's go here. Fair use. You have here the price of margarine, $3.10 at a local store here, HEB. $1.38. Oh, look at that price. How many sticks you getting there? You get you about 4 or 5 sticks, right, in that thing? Excuse me, right? Country Crock. They used to get us with the barn on there. We thinking it comes straight from the farm. That's just a great artist. Great marketing. Fleischmann's vegetable oil spread sticks. Right? And look at the prices on these, right? You got the tub of Imperial, $1.98. Whoa, that thing is $1.98 for that big old thing. I'm like, y'all just love us, don't you? You're just giving us all of this good stuff away, don't you? And I know sisters go up in there, girl, nah, give me that margarine there. It tastes just the same. And guess what? It's making you too much of a daughter of Zion. It's putting a little bit too much on you. So you hey, and not only is it gonna put a little bit too much on you, you know, because I know your husband, hey, that's y'all thing. But what I'm telling you is we can't have too much on our heart. So we need to be careful. How do we be careful? How can we be careful? Well, let's look to see if just that's going to save us so much money. Let's just go here, check out. Yeah, you're like, Elder, that's expensive. Hey, which is more expensive? According to the video that we just watched. I'm just asking, what's more expensive? All right. Got this butter here. I think you got about 4 sticks in there, $6.22. You're like, Elder, that's expensive. Stop using so much. You don't need that much of this stuff. That's the thing about it. When it comes to fats, you don't need as much. There's already fat in your steak. The egg has fat, but people take the egg yolk out. We can't be eating egg yolk because it's causing too much fat. Are you kidding me? Total lies. You're taking out all of the good stuff. You don't need as much fat. Some of y'all putting too much butter. I like a lot of butter on there. So that's why you're buying that margarine, because you just want to sloppy that butter, slap that thing all over there. You smacking the bread with the butter. Ooh, girl, yeah, I like mine with all that butter. And it's all good. I know you got to throw your little garlic powder, salt on that thing, a little tiny little honey and sugar. I get it. But just use the regular butter. And even though it's expensive, you don't have to use as much of it. Look at the prices on these. I personally stay away from Great Value. I don't deal with Walmart, meat, really anything, mostly from Walmart. Some things I might get every now and then if I just had to go there. But I try to stay away from Walmart altogether. And if not, I'm sitting there praying over that thing like Cyclops. Just, I'm trying to make sure, because that's the only store in town that I don't get what they said they getting from this Great Value on that video. Because sometimes you travel into the past, so it's like all they got is Walmart around here. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a bad day. We ain't gonna be able to get no food. Walmart got meat and everything. We up in there like we can't get no food from Walmart. Hey, You might come back with an extra arm on you. So look at the prices and compare them. You're saving a lot of money, you think, here, until years down the line, you really pay for it. They're counting on that as an investment. They throw that thing up in there and they put on there for black folks. We know they don't got money. So what's the main thing we're going to put on there? Great value. And we understand that they don't have knowledge. So guess what? We're going to put it in the frozen section. We know that they're working and they need to pop something in the microwave quick because their kids is at the daycare or their kids is at school. They got to go to work and they need everything to be quick. Great value. Quick. Top ramen. Quick. Done in 1 minute. All of these things. Fast food. I was trying to find an old movie called Branded. Branded, I have to try to find that movie. I don't know where to find it at. It showed how you would go into the restaurants, the fast food restaurants, and come out with a clown. Every time you went in, you came out with another clown, showing you how eating these food was bringing demons in you from this movie. Straight up. I mean, I have to watch that movie again. I want to show my family. I can't find it. We watched it years ago. So look at the price. $6.49. He's like, Elder, they not even giving a lot of butter. You don't need that much fat. You don't need that much. Well, we trying to make some cookies. If you're making cookies with the right flour, you will be more full and you're probably only going to be able to eat 2 cookies. You won't be able to eat 4 to 6, trust me. So that's why I had to bring the thing out about the flour. Okay? Because there's a big misconception about it. And I have to bring that out. We're not supposed to be eating wheat. You're not supposed to be eating genetically modified wheat. And I'm not just talking about the flour you buy in the store. I have to break it all down. All right. That's going to be in the near future, though. You got this Land O'Lakes salted butter. $6.49. You got the Irish pure, $4.14. So you guys, we have been trained to think that we have to get so much of everything and eat so much of everything. Trust me. What I'm showing you is just the tip of the iceberg. If you get your own homestead and you have your own cows and sheep and goats, and you learn how to milk them, they have milk things that you can buy and you just put it under there and operate that milk and that milk comes out. I don't know how good they work, but because an old-fashioned hand does good work, but I'm saying, however, for your convenience, whatever. I would rather that convenience than any other convenience, if you can, or get some milk from your local farm. You can make butter from your own milk. So there's levels to it. There's levels to going to the store and buying your flour, making your own bread, but then there's other levels to it than that. So we're going to talk about all of these things. What foods are inflammatory? You hear a lot of information out there. Pizza, cheese, margarine, white bread, processed foods, tinned foods, cakes, biscuits, meat slices, sweetened yogurt, fried foods. When they say pizza, a lot of us who have eaten when we were young from these chain restaurants, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people love Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We have to start looking at the ingredients. When it comes to the flour, yep. When it comes to the sauce, and where they're getting their vegetables from, or just don't eat there at all, and go to a natural place that makes pizza, like if you were in Italy, or what's the place, Naples. Some of the 2 best places that make pizza in the world, Italy and Naples. And prove me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but you know, I've been over to these areas. Cheese. Did not God say that we can eat cheese? You got to get the right type of cheese. The cheese with the vegetable oils, we just saw what vegetable oils did. Margarine. It's not butter. White bread. Overly processed, empty carbohydrate. processed foods. We already seen what they have in the processed foods. Tinned foods. So you try your best not to get canned good foods and try to get fresh. There's nothing wrong with eating them, but it's canned aluminum. But it's good for food storage. Something better than nothing. You have things that take out heavy metals. Cakes and biscuits. You go into that bakery. Oh, that fresh bread smells so good. It smells better when it comes out your own oven. Trust me. And you know what's in it. How do they need 1,000 ingredients? And obviously I'm being overboard. To make a cookie. Last I know, in a cookie, you need some sweetener, some flour, maybe some baking powder, and maybe a few other ingredients. Why do you have 30 ingredients to make some cookies? You might need obviously a little fat, a little water or milk sometimes, depending on egg. Why do you need 30 ingredients in these cookies? And then you guys are bringing that to the feast, and you didn't use your knowledge and do your research to study to show yourself approved that you're bringing this to the Most High's feast. And at the bottom, it has bioengineered. Prepare yourself before you come to the Most High. The Most High says that. Don't bring the wrong sacrifice to the Most High's people. All right? So when you hear people saying, you shouldn't eat wheat, you shouldn't eat dairy, you shouldn't eat eggs, in some ways they may be right because these things are tainted nowadays. But you shouldn't tell people they shouldn't eat what the Most High said is good. You should tell them where to go and get the good stuff. Where do you go get your local raw milk? Or where do you go and buy milk that doesn't have hormones? Yes, it may be pasteurized and it may not have really any health benefits, but it's still a good food additive to make as a thickener agent. But if I want some nutrition from milk, I go and get raw milk. But if I just want a thickening agent, it's okay to buy the regular milk because it's lawful. I don't want any milk with any glue in there. Okay? And I have to try my hand at making my own bread to see how long this bread actually lasts and why when I buy bread, this bread is lasting that long. So what's going on with the bread in the freezer and the bread that's fresh? Even though this bread says it's organic. Why is theirs in the freezer? Aha. What that boy said on the Eddie Murphy movie Coming to America? Aha. Am I saying that you should never eat it? Obviously, you're going to go to a family member's house and you're going to have to pray over that thing like 10 times. Because it shouldn't have been on there 10 weeks and still fresh. Starting to remind me of some McDonald's fries or something. So, what I'm saying is, all jokes aside, do your research, okay? Sodium nitrate. A lot of people say, man, you got to get your beef sausage. Look up sodium nitrate. You're going to have to learn how you got go get your meat machine or find you a local place that's not adding sodium nitrate in your meats. Just telling you. You getting your beef sausage. The only thing you heard was beef, and because you can pray over it with the Holy Spirit. We use that, and we can't overdo the grace of it. I'm just saying because it's 1,000 chemicals in there, but all you saw was beef. In some situations, the Bible says, use your grace. But understand that if you overconsume something that has total poisons just because of the power of prayer, don't be surprised if something still happens because that's not using wisdom now. A lot of the sausage out there, I'm going to be honest, guys, if you're not going to pay a certain amount of money for that sausage, and you look on the back and it says sodium nitrate or carrageenan. With carrageenan, they put that in chicken and certain meats. And it has a lot of things to deal when it comes to the colon and all that. But people are trying to save $1. But you're not going to save $1. The doctor is going to want it all from you. That's their job. They've studied to do that. They're going to want all of their money. No different than some guy in the streets. You ain't got my money? You know how the doctors is. You better have my money. They ain't playing no games. They say it in a total professional way. Oh, yeah, you know. Okay. I was going to watch this other video on the margarine, but I think you get the point. If you want to watch it, but you can go here. I'll tell you what. You can go here. 1 second. Fair use.
Isn't margarine a
Educational
healthy
purposes
alternative
only.
to butter? Here is why you should really avoid using margarine. Margarine is made of vegetable oils. Although that may sound well and good, unfortunately, our bodies don't recognize industrial vegetable oils as food. Vegetable oils like canola, corn, soybean, and safflower oils are highly processed by heating and then further processing. This processing may involve using dewaxing, petroleum solvents, refining, degumming, deodorization, and there are several other unnatural sounding terms.
So you can go and watch that. Okay, you can go and watch that. Just come back to the video, check it out. That's their views. For those who have ears, let them hear. Okay. There are some fats that you can that the Most High call good. And we're not just talking about, right now we're talking about the oils. Okay? About the oils. These are some of the benefits that they're saying here, according to uclahealth.org. Just for educational purposes only. I'm just reading this from, reading this article here. Let's go to this down here. A robust body of research has revealed the wide range benefits of including healthy fats in diet. These include lowering risk of developing heart disease, improving blood cholesterol levels, helping with blood sugar control, and reducing inflammation. Healthful fats have a beneficial effect on blood pressure, and they have shown to support gut health. There is also a growing evidence that is getting enough good fats in a diet helps to maintain the health of the lining of the gut. Known as the intestinal barrier, this plays a crucial role in numerous metabolic functions like metabolism, including maintenance of the gut microbiome, absorption of nutrients, and immune function. So when people are trying to take the cheap route, they are not knowing that, hey, this might, according to what they're saying here, UCLA, this might actually do the opposite of what this margarine or these other unhealthy fats are doing. People have their options. You should always make sure, for those who have ears to let them hear, you should always consult your doctor or your primary care physician. But, hey, that's what they're saying there. Some of the oils that are considered healthy fats are olive oil, avocado, ghee butter, raw butter, coconut oil. Obviously, when you're going to the grocery store, you will not get raw butter. Unless you have a Whole Foods type of store, you can buy raw butter. Raw butter sometimes is totally different. I've had raw butter that's white. I've had raw butter that's yellow with no salt. And sometimes they cook different. You can turn raw butter into ghee butter or clarified butter. Clarified butter is a very powerful oil. Lots of these oils can be used up to 6 times, so you don't have to toss them right out. They have higher frying temperatures. And they're said to, according to research, have anti-inflammation and other health benefits. So, and myself, hey, all I'm going to say is I've seen a lot from eating healthy through people and myself. I've seen these oils themselves, polyphenols and olive oil. Let me tell you, olive oil itself can break through, according to research, the blood-brain barrier. Coconut oil, living, especially if you get the living coconut oil, has probiotics in it. So these oils are anti-inflammation. The other oils the body does not recognize, according to research. The body does not recognize them at all. So it does not know what to do with them. Therefore, like empty sugars, it's going to be, according to doctors and research, empty carbs, empty, void of nutrition. A lot of people have Top Ramen and they love Top Ramen because we grew up on it, but I would like you to go and see what is the benefits of Top Ramen and see have they caused any ill effects and see the process of them and are they natural. I'm not going to say it on here. That's all I'm going to say. You have a blue banana. Blue bananas are real. There's red bananas. There's different colored bananas. There's many different fruits and veggies from different parts of the world. I want to go here really quick, man. These people, and I love the fact that these people, though, I will say this. I love the fact that these people are getting healthy. But I just wish that they can keep the doctrine out of it. I mean, but I guess everyone has to ride for their doctrine like everyone else, right? I see a lot of you look at a person, how they're in shape, fair use, how they're in shape and all that. Listen, many people can be in shape and then they can deceive you. Well, Elder said that you can't get big eating, if you don't eat meat. I never said that. I just said you're going to be doing more eating than anything all day. You're going to be doing more eating than anything all day, trying to keep up with what the Most High said is good when it comes to certain animal proteins. You have to eat all day, unless you're just naturally 250-pound guy. I'm sorry. Great question, Joanne Bryant. I'm going to answer that question later. She said, why do some experts say don't heat up olive oil? I'm glad she asked that question. Listen, I lived on the other side of the earth. What they tell black people over here is different over there. That's all I'm going to tell you. All they used over there was goat milk. You can barely find cow milk in the part of Europe I was living in. All they used was olive oil. And they heat that thing up. So you got two olive oils. They tell you got one that can be cooked, but it's just really a cheaper version, but it's still real olive oil. And then you have one that has more of a better smell, enhanced smell, and it's more better flavor that you can use with fresh salads. But both of them can be heated. Olive oil can be heated at high temperatures, and I heat it at high temperature. You know why? Because our sacrifices had olive oil on them. Okay? And olive oil can be heated up that high. And guess what? Another thing you need to understand is that our immune systems and our genetics is totally different than Edomites. It's totally different than other Gentiles. So sometimes there's some things that they're telling you that's bad for them, but it's still good for you. So you got to watch that. You have to watch that. What our God told us for us is good. What our God told us for us is good. I've been heating up olive oil for so long, and I've studied it for so long. And I'm going to tell you guys, be careful when you go in the store to buy your olive oil and your honey. I would call them the whores of when it comes to the food industry. Two of the whores. Why am I saying whores? Because when this olive oil gets to this country, they're going to mix a little bit of soybean oil and canola oil. When this honey gets from China and then gets over here, they mix that honey with potato sugar or this glucose, so that and by the time it gets to your state, it's been mixed over 300 times. So that's why we buy local raw honey. And I like it even unrefined. Okay? If you don't have bees, get it local and unrefined. I'm not a full-time beekeeper yet, so I do not have honey to send people. Get your local honey. When it comes to olive oil, there's a big misconception on what kind to buy because of what I just said. Most olive oil is not real olive oil. Just the truth. So do your research and find you a good brand. Just like salmon. I really don't buy salmon anymore because salmon have turned to bioengineered and genetically modified. And a lot of times I don't know which salmon is which, especially if I'm going to a restaurant. It's been tainted so bad. I have to be very careful when I go. A lot of times I'm getting the steelhead trout, which is red, just like the salmon now, and tastes pretty similar. But I'm very careful about what I buy. The olive oil I like to buy personally is in a silver can. I buy it in bulk because olive oil is really supposed to be in a dark bottle. Doesn't have to be, but it lasts longer and it stays more fresh in a dark bottle or a glass bottle. It's not saying that the other olive oils in the plastic are not real. That's what I want to put that out there. Companies have their choices, but you can know it's real if you put it in the refrigerator and it starts to try to solidify a little bit, very similar to honey. That's what real olive oil does. It starts to get cloudy, a little airy. Not airy, excuse me. It starts to get a little cloudy and starts to solidify a little bit. That's how you're going to know you have real olive oil. That's just the reality of it. This is the holy choice oil of the Most High God. Don't let somebody tell you can't heat it up to the... That's a false argument. That's all they're doing when you go to Italy. That's all they're doing when you go to certain islands in Europe. All they're doing. Just like when you go to that part, white people are going to tell you that Christ is black. White people will. In Russia, in Rome, they're telling you they're black. Over here, they're telling you you're nothing but a Negro. So be careful who you listen to. An Egyptologist is going to tell you you are the kings and queens of Egypt. Some parts he's right because we were in Goshen. But then he's never been to Egypt himself. Because if he's been to Egypt, he wouldn't come back preaching that because the Arabs are going to be looking at him just like a Negro. And they're going to treat him the same. And they're going to try to take money from him. Then he's going to come back like Malcolm did and tell you, that ain't us. That's not our religion and it's not for us. That's how you know they haven't traveled. Okay? So, I eat many kinds of fish. It's not the only fish I get. I get a lot of good type of fish. I only buy high quality. I don't get tilapia unless it's a high quality, non-genetically modified, but I really don't eat it. But I do eat it every now and then. But they do have a good tilapia too. But I mostly eat red snapper, trout, flounder. You understand? It's so many garfish. Anything that's lawful. But I'm careful on the hormones and things like that. So you just need to look out for that. All right. But I gotta show you this. Fair use. Nothing against this brother. But I just want to tell you, if you want to be an Israelite and not a person who's talking about Ashe and all of this stuff, just like Dr. Umar Johnson, you have to be careful who you watch. Because a lot of you are trying to eat the meat and spit out the bones. But a lot of people dedicate what they do to their gods. So nothing against this brother at all. I don't know this brother. These are his views. But I'm just giving you an example how I just stumbled on this brother today. And here you go. Fair use. Educational purposes only.
And not just the physical, but the mental and the spiritual. The Trinity. Yeah, I got my salad.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Here. Very alkaline, very green. And right now it's about 7:10 p.m. We'll estimate it. 7 o'clock. This salad will definitely hold me down until my bedtime, which is about 9:30. One of the most beautiful things when it comes to
and let me say, I'm proud that the brother's eating clean. And I'm proud that the brother's trying to do some finding, but you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful because when you hear somebody telling you don't eat salt, that's a commandment for us to eat salt. That's a commandment. The body was made to need salt. Salt keeps your water inside of you. Salt is an electrolyte and a mineral. Salt is one of the most important things before water. When you're in the desert, salt is more important than water, just so you know. Trust me, I've seen people who's walked in deserts and been in deserts. Salt is before water. Because if you drink some water without the electrolytes from some filter, you're going to be totally dehydrated. So you got to have let me tell you can just get some salt in the desert to not pull no cramps, and you're going to be all right. Not that you don't need water, but what I'm saying is you definitely need you some salt. Not only sea salt, there's cave salt. There's a lot of salt.
And detoxing.
But we're going to go into that because you want unrefined salt.
For me, especially on the raw vegan diet or lifestyle, is like I sleep so well because the food that I'm eating is nutritionally dense, but it's not highly saturated. Some people, they tend to eat the fast food and the processed food, or eat, I'm Jamaican, rice on peas on curry chicken or jerk chicken before them go to sleep. And it's like, how are you going to be able to fall asleep peacefully if you're not peaceful within yourself?
So that have nothing to do with anything that he just said. How are you going to tell a person, especially a person who works out, that they can't eat some protein at night before they go to bed? Totally wrong. Totally wrong. I've eaten a salad before I went to bed, and I've woken up after a hard workout totally drained. Maybe he's doing 2 reps, 3 reps. I don't know. But let me tell you, if you tap into your nervous system and you lift like a Judah gorilla, or you doing some volume, you can eat a salad all you want to. When it's time for you to go to work the next day, you're going to be done. A salad is not going to help you at all. That's why the angel told Elijah, go on the strength of the meat. So those nights that I eat more protein than carbs or salad, I wake up wonderful. How about that? I wake up wonderful with total energy, even if I just ate a steak and some salt and black pepper. And I'm telling you facts because your body lost protein and glucose. Water and all that, it needs rest. You've tapped into your nervous systems. The proteins is not only healing the muscles, but they are healing your whole immune system from anti-inflammation. When you work out, you have inflammation as well. You need protein to heal inflammation. The amino acids in the plants are not enough. But to each his own. But I had to prove that point to people. That you come on these videos not understanding something, you're like, he's deep, and you follow that, and because listen, our people go more off of zeal instead of knowledge. Get this book here. Proven facts. Proven facts of people who have done it.
To be mindful of. All right, family. Let me dig into this salad, man. Enough of the long talking. Oh my God. This is so good. This is so good. No dressing, no salt, no pepper.
Are you sure you're an Israelite, brother? And listen, people can do what they want to do. No salt, no pepper, no dressing. Which one of you, if I'm coming to your house to eat a salad and you don't throw no lemon or olive oil on that thing, or no vinegar and olive oil, or no salt, no black pepper, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm out. Because I'm going to think you got a spirit going on up in that place. Because this thing tastes straight like air. I'm not a goat. I'm not a sheep. I'm not a cow. I need some flavor on this thing because I'm made in the image of God. And we're going to go to a scripture to show it. My brother like his food the way he is. I'm not knocking him at all. But I'm telling you guys, maybe he come from ham or something else. I don't know. But our God commanded us to eat salt with every hey.
Cayenne pepper, none of that. Some people, they eat salad and all they put is the dressing. No, it's not a salad anymore. It's just a dressing. So good.
I haven't heard anyone speak like that until I came from Egypt, when they were asking, why you put so much flavor and stuff on your food?
I say.
Yep, I got to turn it off now. He said he didn't set the Ashe thing. We out of there. We out of here. See? You go there to get some good information. You go to the tree of knowledge of good, and here come the evil at the end of the video. We out. Deuces. Deuces. Leviticus 2:13. Let's go there really quick, man. Let's go there really quick. I'm glad my brother's on his journey, though. I mean, hey, you can't be mad at that. You literally can't. I'm glad he's on his journey. But I'm sorry, brother, we had to turn it off because I know people say we all believe in the same God, but we don't over here. We believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I say. I can't say that other word no more, but I say something else. Hold up, man. Hold up. I pray that brother come to the truth. All righty. Hold on here. let's see how Israelites are made in the image of God and what he commanded his image of God, his image to do. See, when we follow other gods, hey, we go off. Follow these ways, you don't have to spend all your money at the hospital and the doctors. Oh yeah, don't forget, you got to consult with your doctor. I'm going to consult with my doctor. Guess who my doctor is? It's Christ. That's who my doctor is. And I got a fleshly doctor too, but I'm saying I'm going to always consult with my primary doctor first. My primary care doctor is Christ. So I don't know who you guys is. Make sure you get with your primary care physician. Leviticus chapter 2 and 1. And when any of the children of Israel he's talking about, and when any, let me type that in the chat real quick. Any. You're not deeper than Christ. None of you Israelites are deeper than Christ, not even me. So don't let some dude tell you, man, you gotta watch the salt. Salt gives you more energy. When I worked out and I took more salt in my water or my electrolyte drink, I had more energy. Yes, some bodybuilders tell you drop the salt so you can be more lean. You don't actually have to do that. So says the red meat. Unless you're just trying to be unhealthy lean. Or you're trying to run a sprint every 5 minutes just to stay lean. That's not even natural to stay that lean. That's unhealthy to have a body fat percentage too low unless you're doing a bodybuilding show. Everyone's not trying to join a bodybuilding show. A lot of us just want to be healthy, be strong. Yeah, we do want to be lean, but you know, everything is not about a social media picture every time. Okay? When any will offer a meat offering, this is God. This is his son Christ giving instruction, not some man or woman who read a few books or watched a few YouTube things. What he calls good, if you follow him, you don't got to pay a high doctor bill. And when any will offer a meat offering unto the Lord, his offering shall be a fine flour. And we know that flour is not some new age white flour. And I'm not telling you guys to not buy white flour. That's not what I'm saying. We're telling you in this time, they were using a millstone to grind their flour down. So they be having different type of fresh grains that are not readily available in your local store. That's all I'm saying. Get what you have to get and use your grace in this time. But I'm going to bring it deep around for you real soon. I'm going to bring it real deep around for you. His offering shall be a fine flour. He shall pour oil upon it and put frankincense therein. There go that olive oil. How you know it's olive oil, Elder? You can read all through the scriptures about it. Wait, let us jump down to, you know what? Nah, keep it going. And he shall bring it to Aaron's sons, the priests, and he shall take out his handful of flour therein, and the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it on the altar to be an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Lord. Now understand that the way that they grind oil in big processing centers today, the way that they process oil today and manufacture it, guys, it's very big and vast. Back then, oil was very rare. Do you know how hard it is to take some olive oils and press them? So when a person is getting anointed with that real olive oil, yeah, you really got anointed. That was a rare oil, guys. You couldn't just go around having all these oils all over the place. It was hard to press oil. You got to have a lot of olive trees to get that much oil. Trust me when I'm saying. Okay? And I've been to the other side of the world where olives are readily available in Italy and all that. Okay? And the remnant of the meat offering shall be Aaron and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings unto the Lord made by fire. What were the priests eating? And we know none of the Israelites were deeper than the priest who were ministering to God, who was telling people they shouldn't be eating something. Aaron and his sons were eating meat. I don't see no news channels coming in, going back in the time. We know why Aaron and his sons died. They were unhealthy for eating red meat. Are you kidding me? This is what they were eating every day. This is what they were eating every day. They were doing sacrifices every day. And guess what? A lot of you laughing about it. I don't get tired of it. That's how you know the Most High's diet and what he told us is so on point. My body loves what's good for me. I don't want no restaurant foods. Let me tell you, my wife was like, hey, we going to be busy here. Go and get you, a Smoothie King or something. I said, babe, I'd rather fast. I can't do it. I'm coming home to eat your food. I don't want this crap out here. I'm good. I don't know what they have in this stuff. I fasted hours and hours and hours. I said, I'm going home to eat my steak. I know they're going to have that steak for me ready to go. That's my daily steak. It's going down. Okay? And the remnant of meat offering shall be Aaron and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of the Lord made by fire. And if thou bring an oblation of a meat offering baken in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil. Don't forget what he was just eating, Elijah. He had that little meat up in that bread, how they do in the Middle East. They bake those cakes with the meat inside of there. You can put cheese inside of there and all of that. Oh, yeah. Or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. If you were in Egypt before with us, you know what I'm talking about. How the Egyptians bake that cake, that wafer cake, and they have meat inside of it. It's like a little pie almost. I think it's crazy. And if thy oblation be, let's go to verse 6. Thou shalt part it in pieces and pour oil thereon. It is a meat offering. So the olive oil is getting at high heat. You already know. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baken in a frying pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil. There go your nice, your fried, what you call it, your chicken or your fried steak. What you call it, chicken fried steak or something like that? There you go, right there. And thou shalt bring the meat offering that is made of these things unto the Lord. Hey, don't bring it to the vegetarians and the vegans. He said bring it to the Lord. Okay? And when it is presented unto the priest, he shall bring it unto the altar. And the priest shall take from the meat offering a memorial thereof, and shall burn it upon the altar. It is an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. How is it a sweet savor unto the Lord and not to you? Are you made in his image or another image? And we're not saying, I'm not bringing this out to say that you have to eat meat. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying keep your doctrine and your wants to yourself if it's good for you. Okay? Because we want vegetables and meat. We want everything the Most High said is good. And we have that right. Because we're not going around telling you should be eating anything. But we just telling you, don't tell somebody else something that's not in the Bible. Because it's not. He said, bring it unto the Lord. And that which is left of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most holy. It is a thing most holy. I thought it was bad and we shouldn't be doing it. The Most High is calling it most holy. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of the Lord made by fire. It's cooked. It's not raw. It's cooked. No meat offering which ye shall bring unto the Lord shall be made with leaven. Because sometimes they had things that were unleavened and sometimes they had things that were, we could eat leavened bread, guys. It's just some of the sacrifices could not have any leaven. For ye shall burn no leaven, nor any honey in an offering of the Lord made by fire. Is this saying you can't eat honey? No, because Christ came back eating the honeycomb. Understand that there was a time for everything. And understand that when David came, he got a loaf because he was hungry to go back to war. That was a loaf of bread. Okay? As for the oblation of the first fruits, ye shall offer them unto the Lord, but they shall not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. So some of the first fruits that they will bring, it says don't burn them. So you have to just listen to the instructions. And every oblation of thy meat offering, thou shalt season with salt. Do we need to go back to my brother's video real quick? I can't believe these people putting salt and salad dressing. They just eating oil. They're not even eating the salad anymore. Some of us don't want to be goats and sheep and cattle. Some of us want to be the image of the Most High God. Some of us want to be like the angels that came down during the time before they destroyed Sodom to eat a calf and some butter of the kind. Drip, drip, dripping with butter all over that thing and a little season and a little salt. Okay, so this is a commandment to put salt on the food. If you can't eat salt because of a health problem, that's different. But we will tell the people of God that what he said is good is good. I'm going to say it again. Verse 13. Since you guys, I watch him, you guys was watching that dude who was talking about Ashay, huh? There you go. You need to, you picking to follow that God, or you picking to follow this God? And every oblation of thy meat offering shall thou season with salt. Neither shall thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be lacking from thy meat offering. Just like a daddy at home. You bring me a plate, if that thing ain't got no spices or season on it, I'm be like, hey, what's going on? Y'all ain't put no salt on this? And there's times where we say don't put too much salt. It's too salty. It's a fine line. But we don't understand who you are when you say don't put no salt. No season. I'm going to give you the commandment again. That's a forever commandment. Verse 13. And every oblation of your meat offering shall you season with salt. And the salt obviously is going to come with some spices too on our plate. Neither shall thou suffer the salt of the covenant of your God to be lacking. Don't bring me no plate or no sacrifice without it having season on there. We are the children of Israel. With all thine offerings, thou shalt offer salt. How can you be the children of Israel and you don't eat your food with flavor? I can't believe we were over there and we were totally confused. We seen black Egyptians who were black like us, and they don't like salt in their food. They don't like spices on their food. They had some people over there, the leftover remnant of Joseph, who will season that fish up real nice. And I think they taught some of the Arabs how to do that, because some of the Egyptians were like, you're putting too much seasoning on your food. And we was looking like, is something wrong with you? I come from Louisiana. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So I wanted to put that out there just really quick. Because we had to, you know, why are we eating salt? Because salt has electrolytes in it. Salt allows your body to not go dehydrated because the water follows the salt, guys. That's why when some bodybuilders want to be lean, they want to strip their bodies of water and fluids because they're preparing for a bodybuilding show. But salt has the minerals, especially when you get unrefined salt. You have to be careful. Don't just go buying any salt, table salt and all that, because guess what? You don't really know what that is. You got to do your research on table salt. There's all those that have ears, let them hear. That's all I'm going to say. Table salt, those that have ears, let them hear. That's going to be my new saying, like Christ. Those that have, that means you need to go and do your research and study to show yourself approved, because it's only certain ways we can bring things out here. Unrefined salt. I don't care if it comes from the cave, if it comes from the sea. Unrefined salt has more minerals, okay, for your body. I'm glad I showed you that. I want you to see this really quick before we 1 second. This here is a list of bioengineered foods. Okay. Just in case you guys didn't know, ams.usda.gov, really quick. Just a few foods if you didn't know, all right? Just so you guys are aware. You're like, they would bioengineer this? Yes, they would. So for those who are out there eating vegetables, you're not safe either. That's why elders are bringing this out. None of us are safe. We all have to work towards trying to grow our own food, trying to buy organic foods, and make sure that those who are claiming that it's organic, that it's actually truly organic. and still not sprayed and still not going through bad quality control upon its arrival to the store. Okay? Don't trust anybody. I watched a lady when I walked into HEB, a whole thing of blueberries or grapes fell on the floor. She dusted them up with a broom, put them back in the blueberry thing, and put them back on the shelf. I said, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And they were organic. Some of you like to go in there and just taste the fruit, and I get it. It's all good. But you have to be careful. Things have fallen on the floor. People who have taken serpents and scorpions poisons, put their fingers on things. Wash your fruits and veggies, guys, with a little, vinegar, a little lemon, whatever the case may be, a little baking soda, a little tiny amount of dish soap. Be careful so you can get these solvents and these sprays and things off. I don't even trust the organic stuff when it comes to sprays. I still act like it got sprays on it. I still just wash it. When it's labeled organic, it just means it wasn't sprayed. But that does not mean that it was not sprayed with gases to last long. You have to understand the difference. They don't spray pesticides, but in a warehouse, even an organic banana is going to have gases in it so it can last longer. You have to understand that. All right. Hey, let me tell you, Elder go in there. I already know what to get, what not to get. It's smooth selling for me. I'm going in there, and people looking at me crazy. People looking at my basket the other day. They like, this dude got the whole section of steak in his basket. I got one basket full of steak, only a little bit amount of chicken and fish. That's how I eat, though. You see, I understand the Bible. And my body can work like that. I got a good system. I got a good metabolic system. You see, and I'm thankful to the Most High for it. My body recognizes what's good for me and what's not. And let me tell you, I'm going to say the website. He, the Most High, is not wrong. Alfalfa, apple, certain varieties of apple that's trademarked. You didn't know that, did you? Let's click on here and let's see. AMS.USDA.gov. Let's click on the Arctic apple. There you go. We went deep into it. A lot of you don't do this when you shop. You're afraid. You don't want to go to the QR codes. I just got to get in. Yeah, hey, there you go. Producing countries. Canada, United States. Trade name. They got a trademark name. Arctic Golden Delicious. Arctic Granny Smith. Arctic Fuji. Trademark. BE apples are in commercial production only in the United States. BE apples have also been approved for commercial production in Canada, but no trees have been planted yet. The first BE apple trees were planted in 2015, and current production is relatively minor. As of October 2017, Okanagan Special Fruits have planted 250 acres of BE apples and expected to reach 1,400 acres by 2019. MIT Technology Review 2017. BE apples versions have been developed for 3 apple cultivars: Golden Delicious, Granny Smith, and Fuji. All other apples cultivars may be presumed not to be BE apples. So you go down, has more information. 2018 biotechnology consultations on food from GE plant varieties. Genetic engineering. So you can just go deeper and deeper with this information. Get the labs on them and all that. All right. So this is what's going on, guys. You have to come and check out all of this stuff. Elder, what does all of this stuff mean? It means that all of these that you're looking at right here are bioengineered foods. List of bioengineered foods. That's what it means. So be careful with apples. I only get organic fruit. That's all I get. And if it's not organic, it's going to be number 3 or number 4. Because that means it's just no way I can ever get that fruit organic. So what I do is I make sure I go home and soak that fruit and wash it like mangoes. You really ever barely find organic mangoes, but what you can do is make sure you wash them off, because number 3 and number 4 still means that it was conventionally grown. It's just sprayed. So now you have to take extra steps and measures to take off those sprays. All right. So, and you can do it. You soak it in a little lemon or vinegar or baking soda, and you can scrub it with a little dish soap and a little rag, and the stuff will come off the skin, and the insides will be safe. Watermelon, thick skin, you don't have to worry about sprays because it's not going to get inside of it. Canola, corn. Most of you love that good old corn, and I love corn. But you're not even checking to see if that corn has number 3 or number 4. You're just buying the corn. Most corn in America is genetically modified, just so you know. So the first fruits of the Most High that we used to have as corn and grain, genetically modified. You have to go out your way to see if it has number 3 or number 4 or it says number 9 organic on it. You must check this. Number 3, number 4, or number 9. Number 3 and 4 means conventionally grown. Conventionally grown means that it is sprayed because it's spraying for the bugs because the curses of Adam are still available. But the corn itself is still good because the Most High called it good until it becomes bioengineered or genetically modified. Cotton. A lot of overripe Israelites. This is 100% cotton. Oh yeah? It's 100% genetically modified cotton, just so you know. You've never seen a shirt, have you, that said 100% organic cotton. So this is the thing with Israelites gets me. You go and telling some people to get pork out their house, you have on 100% genetically modified cotton on your body. And you better be thankful because at least that's just on your body and you're not eating that cotton. But that stuff still sometimes messes with our skin. So you have to put things on your body like olive oil or coconut oil, so that you can still heal your skin. I'm dropping jewels on y'all tonight. Shea butter with all of these things that leave a barrier on your skin to protect you from these different garments we are not used to wearing. Eggplant is genetically modified now, according to the USDA.gov. Papaya, pineapple, pink flesh varieties. So they have different varieties. You have the papaya with the ring spot virus resistant variety. So they're saying that they genetically modified this because of the ring spot virus resistant varieties. And some of these things because some tropical fruit were not meant to be shipped and grown in different areas. There was no thing in the past where a person's having cucumbers year round. You have cucumbers and melons when it's melon season. You don't have watermelon in the winter. So this is what's going on. We live in a whole new place where things are sprayed to last long and things are coming shipped from all over the place. There's some good to that because a person who wants to be a super vegan or a super vegetarian who likes to juice, they don't even understand history. Brother, there was no watermelon in wintertime. You're sitting here with a YouTube channel juicing. There were no juices in ancient time, and there was no watermelon in wintertime. So you're sitting here telling people, yeah, you're supposed to be living like me and doing like me. I'm juicing and I'm eating tropical fruit in the wintertime. When a lot of these things, that's not even their seasonal times to come out. How are you getting pineapples? How are you getting watermelon in winter? Well, they do got hot places in other areas. How do they have so much of that? No, really, what's going on is they have climate-controlled environments to plant these things now. And that's okay. They're still grown lawfully in greenhouses. But what we're saying is, hey, you just need to educate yourself in general. Potatoes. A lot of people save a lot of money from buying potatoes, especially if you have a lot of children. But I only buy non-GMO potatoes. Okay? I didn't know until like a few months ago that they were doing this to potatoes. So I only get chips that say organic now. I don't get even the Lay's. All of Lay's you have to get on the QR code because you're going to assume that they wouldn't genetically modify potatoes like corn, would they? I'm showing you tonight that they will. If it's not a part of the non-GMO project or it doesn't say organic, it is GMO. Case closed. Or it does not have number 3 or number 4. But that's on fruits and vegetables. When it comes to potato chips, I don't care what store you go to, the dollar store, the convenience store, your local market. If it is not a part of the non-GMO project or it does not say organic, it is genetically modified. I hate to bust a lot of people's bubbles, but you can eat what you want to eat. All I'm providing tonight with you is education. You can pray over what you want to pray over. I'm only providing you tonight education. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but we're not living in the world of convenience anymore very soon. So let us educate ourselves. Salmon, the Aqua Advantage. It's a registered trademark, this certain type of salmon. And there's other salmons that's like this as well. But this is the one here. Soybean, obviously soybean, we've been knowing that since we started The Truth. Squash, summer coat protein, meditated virus resistant varieties. So that's why they're saying they did it when it came to genetically altering it so that it didn't have this deficiency here. Sugar beet. All of the people who only eat vegetables, I know they're a little quiet right now. They're a little quiet right now. You trying to be a know-it-all. Stop it. It's okay. You're not going to get in heaven faster. This is just education. I'm educating you too tonight to where now you can go and buy you some organic ones or plant them, because most vegans don't even plant their own food or even know how. So if it went all bad, they're going to be next to you smelling that steak because they don't even know how to plant food. Sugarcane. There you go. Hey guys, I tell you, great education coming out tonight, and I praise the Most High for all his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding we can share tonight. Don't forget about Bill Gates' appeal, because he wants to appeal to those who are in the grocery stores. He wants to appeal to you, so they call it appeal, because these are once again genetically modified fruits and vegetables. Okay. Wine, Sirach 31 and 27. Let us go. See, we talked about fats tonight. Sugars. What are your sugars? Your carbohydrates and your fructose, because it's, your fruits that's growing on your fruit trees. These are the things that Most High call good. Your fats, your proteins. You see? If you eat the things according to the diet of the Most High, we could have went in Leviticus, but we didn't really want to go into all of the things the Most High said eat. We know we should eat crustaceans according to the Bible, pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, the rabbit, the eagle, and all of. We didn't really want to go into that. You can go into the lessons on Saturday, okay, in the Hebrew Academy for those things there. Tonight we wanted to focus on just a lot of general things that people may not know. They're not general in that aspect, but we didn't really want to go. It would have been too long of a lesson because it's already long, obviously, right? Sirach 31 and 27, really quick. Oh, you already know the Holy Spirit gonna bring it. I don't come to play. Oh, did we go there already? 1 second, let me see. No, we didn't. Yeah, here. I don't drink wine. It's okay. You don't have to drink it. But don't tell someone else that they can't drink something the Most High said was good. Because Paul didn't he tell Timothy that in the scripture? Drink no more water, but wine for the belly. This was not regular, just alcohol wine in the past. Let me tell you, 2,000 plus years ago, 1,700 years ago, 3,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, whatever, they were drinking wine. And the wine that they were drinking was not over-processed wine with sulfur to make it stay on the shelf so long. It was not clarified with pork. This was wine that the Hebrews made clean, what they call modern day kosher. Okay, and this wine was still living. That's why it couldn't last as long as the wine that's bottled on the shelves today. I don't care if it says kosher. I don't care what it say. The wine bottled on the shelf, you can spend $100 on it. Because let me tell you, my wife know I spend some bottles on some wine before I start making my own. Money on wine. But if it lasts that long on the shelf, the sulfur in it, sulfur itself is not bad, but when you put it in there to alcohol, it makes it last longer. Now it's killing off the bacteria, and now you're dealing with only alcohol alone. You see, I don't want to only drink alcohol. I want to drink the probiotics inside, because you get a euphoric feeling according to studies, outside of just some alcohol feeling. You get a euphoric feeling, and everybody who drinks it, they like, whoa, they get like this little, they like, it's different than the other stuff. It's living. Okay? Anyone who makes their own wine knows what I'm talking about. So, all right, and we're going to go through a few of those things one day, most high willing. Maybe on the Homestead channel or something, I can show you how I make mine or whatever the case may be. All right? But we don't want people to say that we can't drink alcohol because, hey, why did the Most High tell us to do it? I mean, tell us that we can do it. We're going to see why in Scripture. We all know we shouldn't overdo anything. Let's go to, where are we at here? Ecclesiasticus again, 31. And 1 second. Let's go to 23. Whoso is liberal of his meat, men shall speak well of him, and the report of his good housekeeping is well believed. Liberal of his meat don't mean a man can't eat him a steak twice a day. And see, that's the thing. People, they trying to put their own limits on you. You eating too much meat because you didn't ate. You a big dude, but you can't eat you 2 steak. Get out of here. You take your mind from what's off of my plate and what my God told me is good. I wonder why when I went to these rich Africans' house, when I was with my rich Nigerian friend, they put a big old thing of meat on my plate. I'm like, good Lord. And I wonder why these guys were so yoked over there. They understood naturally this a long time ago because this was our culture. When it came to protein, do you know how hard it is when it comes to fitness to keep your muscle if you're in a calorie deficit, if you don't have enough protein? Trust me, I've been doing this for many years. I'm not a novice at this. I'm not telling anyone to overeat anything. You overeat salt, you're going to have high blood pressure, even if it's good salt. You overeat carbs, you're going to, hey, your blood sugar is going to be all over the place. You overdrink water, your system is going to drown. You overeat meat, you're going to have colon problems. But everybody's limits is different. Some people weigh 250 pounds. Some people weigh 165. Some people weigh 140. Each person's stomach is different. Some people can take more liquor than one person. Everyone should know their limits and their own things. That's for that person to figure out. Who is liberal of his meat, men shall speak well of him, and the report of his good housekeeping is well believed. All right. So a person who has hospitality, they're not only just sitting there eating all the meat, they're sharing. But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur of the testimonies of his niggardness, and it shall not be doubted of. So that's going into hospitality. All right. Show not thy valiantness in wine, for wine had destroyed many. So we're never going to preach to you that you should get drunk, because the Bible says don't do it. The furnace proveth the edge by dipping, so doeth wine the hearts or minds of the proud by drunkenness. Wine is as good as life to a man, if it be drunken moderately. What life is it then to a man without wine? Everyone wants you to be bored and stare in a corner. What about in the end of the world? You ever watch Walking Dead where people were bartering for alcohol? Alcohol heals the body. If it's made naturally, it can build the gut. According to research, not my opinion, according to research. Okay, this is just for educational purposes only. So wine probably can do all of these things, okay? For those who have ears to hear. For it was made to make men glad. Wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth gladness of the heart. Talking about your mind. And cheerfulness of the mind. This is for a law keeper who just wants to have a good time with his family members or his brothers and sisters or his friends, whatever the case may be, and a relaxing. But wine drunken with excess make bitterness of the mind with brawling and quarreling. There goes the drunk uncles that we see at the barbecues. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he offend. So it's stirring up the demon in a person. It diminishes strength and make it wounds. It takes over your body, the demon does. Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth. Give him no despiteful words, and press not upon him with urging drink. That's wisdom. It's telling you don't rush up on this guy while he's drinking and mess up his gladness in the wine. Wait another time because he's drinking as well. You might stir him up and something unexpected happens that he or she never really does. Okay? So there's a balance when it comes to the Bible. Obviously we shouldn't have to say it, but it is. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 26. For those people who are naysayers telling people what they should not be doing, they're adding and taking away from the scriptures. I'm sorry. Let me size this down for you guys. Let me size this down. Let me see if I can get this thing right. There we go. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are what? You shouldn't be drinking water. You should be eating only fruit. H3O. Really? Water, fire, iron, salt. Stop eating all that salt. We shouldn't be eating no salt. We should just be eating lettuce like animals. Eating air, right? Salt. Flour of wheat. Wheat is bad for you. Shouldn't be eating no wheat. That's because you don't have the knowledge to know where to get the right wheat from. And you don't know what to do with it. If you only listen to the elders and listen to the ancients and the wisdom of the Most High. But we're gonna teach you about that, how to use it. Well, when you grind down wheat, it don't work because you're not doing it right. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna show you. Flour of wheat. Honey. Yes, honey, we can eat honey. Milk. We don't eat dairy because they have mucus in it. You're getting the wrong milk. You're getting getting the wrong milk. You're getting the cows with steroids in it. All milk does not have hormones in it. And if you don't even like the milk at the stores, get it from the farmers. But the Bible said to do it because you're going to be lacking certain vitamins and certain vitamin K2s and certain D3s and certain proteins and certain fats. The Most High's diet was perfect. Who are you to tell the Most High's, to change the Most High's diet? Unless that's for you. If your primary care physician, your doctor told you different, you follow that. But we are going to fall into the hands of the Most High because guess what? If our body allows us to do it, why shouldn't we do it? If we found out how to get the good of it and the blood of the grape, which is the wine, and the oil, because they're telling you, y'all eat fats? I don't eat no fats. Okay, you don't eat it. I'm going to eat the good fats the Most High told me to pour that oil on that sacrifice for that sweet savor for the Lord. And clothing. Ah, boy. And those who say strong drink is just for a man dying, it's not true. You can give it to a man that's dying, but it's not only for that. The Most High did allow us to, because some people are trying to act like it's unlawful to drink strong drink. It's not. Once again, you drink it. It's a different type of alcohol. I'm going to prove it. You have some people, I only drink wine. That's for you. You can't tell someone they can't make some tequila something that they like to do because it's natural. It's made from agave. You can't tell someone they can't deal with Hennessy. Some of this stuff is made from the grapes after the grapes made from the wine. And if the Most High said it was good, as long as they don't overdo it. Deuteronomy 14 and 26. Now, me personally, I've drunken a lot of these things before, throughout my life, but I found out that I'm just really a wine man. I might have a margarita with a little, I'm a fruity drink guy. I might have a little tequila in the margarita drink or something every now and then I go to dinner. But it must be a high quality one because you're going to have a hangover later because of it's not high quality. So, each to each his own. It's okay for Hebrews to drink. They must drink moderately. It's okay for a man to go out to the bar with his wife hey, a nice, lawful, clean, high class thing with your wife, there's no law against that. You can't. Now you like, hey, you telling people, what, oh my goodness, they was drinking. Yes, they were drinking. Christ was drinking too, having a good time. I'm with my wife having a good time doing what I need to do with my own wife or these grown-ups. Stop acting like Israelites are supposed to be standing at the corner. Are you kidding me? Do you not have wine at the Passover? Oh my goodness. A person can't even make a song say, hey, let's have a glass of wine, or let's me and the wife dance, and you have a little drink. We just sit down and have a good time. What is going on now? How y'all think y'all got here? But they think every time this thing is mentioned that it's talking about drunkenness. You hanging around the wrong people. So let us go to Deuteronomy 14:26, just to show you what the Bible says. We've been in the world so long, we start to think that just because we do something that we done in the world, that now it's totally bad. No, we have to be adults, righteous adults about it, according to the law. And I wouldn't suggest any leaders drinking in front of people, who's trying to get too comfortable with you or spy out your liberties, because it's just not, obviously a good example, or whatever the case may be. So you got to be careful with that. And, obviously the Bible tells us to be sober-minded. When you hear a person always talking about drink too much, hey, and they sweating and they forehead shiny like Issachar, they may be having, a little too much. And you got to be careful, because you can have liver problems and stuff like that down the line. Mess up your insulin. Low testosterone will have your body loose and untight. So get our Ultra test from Key Supplements and make sure you take it every night so you can stay tight, because alcohol is, regardless of how natural it is still, to a certain degree, as we get older, testosterone levels will lower, and you won't regret what I'm telling you. Trust me. All right, here we go. Excuse me. So here we go. And thou, verse 25. Let's start at 25, because people thought that money wasn't in the Bible. When it comes to tithes and stuff, that money was always there. Verse 25, then thou shalt turn it into money, and bind up the money in thine hand, and shall go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose, obviously for a feast day. And thou shalt bestow that money for whatever thy soul lusted after. This is our God telling us this. For oxen, for sheep, for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatsoever thy soul desireth. Everything lawful he called good. And thou shalt eat there before the Lord thy God, and shall rejoice, thou and thine household. This is talking about feasting with the Most High. Do you see what I'm saying here? This is what will happen in the past when we were in our neighborhoods having a feast with like your natural county members today, or your people of your government, your county. It would be the Levites back then. We had to have feasts also with the leaders and the Levites. You see? You go buy whatever you're going to buy for the feast with money, get together with the Levites in your family, and have a feast to the Most High, whatever he shall choose. That's why we do the Passover very similar. Wherever the elder shall choose, wherever he shall choose to place his name there, put to have the feast there, that's where we shall have it. Christ said, the disciples asked Christ, where shall you have the Passover? We're going to have it over here at this man's house. I already told him about it. That's where we're going to have the feast. The same thing is going over again. All right? Nothing new under the sun. And thou shalt bestow that for money whatsoever thy soul lusted after, for oxen. So if you want to have some oxen at the feast, for sheep, for wine, for strong drink, and for whatever thy soul lust after. Whatever type of dish you want according to the law, you can eat that at this feast. And thou shalt eat it therefore before the Lord thy God, and thou shalt rejoice, thou and thine household, and the Levite that is within thy gates. Thou shalt not forsake him, for he had no part in inheritance with thee. So modern day will be what? And your leaders. A kingdom of priests from every nation, not only Levi anymore. So now, when you have your offerings and your charity, your tithes, the priest, hey, are governing over you. You can't tread the ox. You can't muzzle the ox that tread the corn. Same thing going on again. And at the end of 3 years, thou shalt bring forth all thine tithe and thine increase in the same year, and shall lay it up within thy gates. Now, I don't need nobody coming over here talking about, well, Elder said 3 years. Stop it. Because you ain't finna bring that in 3 years. You're not. You're going to be like Ananias and Sapphira. And the Levite, because he had no part, nor inheritance with thee, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, which are within thy gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all the work of thine hand which thou doest. So you couldn't be broke. You couldn't be broke. You couldn't just be, oh, we thank you, Father. We praise your holy name. No, you had to work so you can have money. So that you can help and have a little feast with the Levites. You can chip in so the stranger and the poor person or the widow. That's an Israelite, guys. That's an Israelite. That's the Abramite. That's a Hebrew. Hospitable, charitable, tithe payer. Okay? So, we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it there. We're going to leave it there. And I want to see you guys, doing what you need to do to actually, to educate yourselves on what is good for you and your diet, so that you won't have to pay these huge doctor bills, and you can say, you know what, it only costs a few more dollars to get this. Let me go ahead and just get this for my family. Let us try to balance it out, and let us, give or take in certain areas. We've been buying so much snacks. Let us try to make this. And you'll realize I'm getting more full from the density of the type of foods the Most High told us to eat than actually all of these other things. That's just the truth about it. Guys, it's like, this is not going to be the only lesson like this. We're going to actually go in the kitchen and show you how we whip it up. And we're going to show you, we're going to have some people that'll taste this stuff and do all of these things to show you guys what we're saying is actually true. Have people giving their opinions. And maybe we might throw a recipe out there and say, hey, I want you guys to go and do this. And then when we come on the show, we will open that thing up for Skype or Zoom and say, hey, give us your opinion on the recipe that we gave out to you of the food the Most High told us, and tell us what was your experience on it. So we got a lot of things we're getting ready to go into. All right. So get ready for it. And then, it's going to happen very soon. So just get ready. And we want our people to get their weight under control and health. So that's why we bring these things out. They're telling you don't do this because they don't want you to be successful. So I'm saying, I put some videos out there tonight for you guys, and I didn't really want to play them because the guy was on there saying things for those who have ears to hear, how it helped him in his body to eat this certain steak and these certain foods the Most High said was good. And you wonder why the Most High said it was good. You wonder why. You're doing all of these things, buying all of these exercise equipment and all of this. You still have to exercise. And then you're like, I'm still at the same weight. It's time to study to show yourself approved. Once again, try this book, Forever Strong, a new science-based strategy for aging well, how to reboot your body, burn fat, fight heart disease, reverse diabetes. This is just this book. I'm just showing the book that I'm reading. But it's based on animal protein. I'm just going to tell you the truth. It's not based on no vegetables. So it did a lot. So anyway, it's pretty late to have calls. You guys, you know, it's late out there. I will make sure we have open up calls next week, and I probably just open it up for a Q&A. I will open it up for a Q&A on these things, and I will specifically probably title it maybe part 2 Q&A on whatever questions you have when you go shopping. And you know, if you guys have tried some things that we talked about tonight and how it affected you, we will just talk about this next week. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the questions next week. It's just way too late, especially on the East Coast and up north, to have a I know people is down to get on the phone right now, but it's better we just have a Q&A next week on this, and we will have a few more videos or something like that to show, but then we'll go straight into the Q&A. Okay, let us do that so you guys can go enjoy the rest of your night. Be safe in this freeze. Be very careful. Yes, I'm in the freeze too. You guys probably wouldn't know that, but down here it's you know, things are frozen and stuff. But look, we still going with it. We thank the Most High for what we have, because we're prepared for these things. Bless you all. I'm going to let me see if I can play something real quick. Let me see if I can play something real quick. Don't know what I'm gonna play, but I'm gonna play something. Let me see here. What do I It's so much music out there, guys. I want to ask someone to tell me what to play. I don't only always want to play my music. I want to give someone what do I play out there, guys? I mean, what's out there? And I want got to be somebody who got works in my church. I'm sorry, I don't care whatever artist is out there, because people come and go. You know what? Let's play this. Fair use. I just seen this on there, so. Fair use. Say where you endure. Hold up, Shadaiwa. That's not the one I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear this other one. Didn't you got one with Kevo the Truth? 1 second here. Yeah, that's the one I want to hear. Unique. Then we closing it out. Fair use.
Kevo and the Truth. Shadaya. Wah. Glory. First off, glory to the highest God of them all. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Gotta stay humble when you in the jungle. The Lion and Judah gon' bring in the law. Under the ride again, we in. This predicament cause of our sins. Never go in if we steady chase a Benjamin. Quite frankly, it's gon' bring us to an end. In the beginning was sinning, but we had our God on a mission to bring forth the healing. From robbing and stealing and drug dealing, we gon' kill all the children before they start seeing religion. It's the way to keep us in prison. Commandment keepers is the way we living. We Tyson demons with no robbing givens. A villain to the wicked flesh that I live in. Need a position, I'm bringing provisions to the saints who really bout it and ain't missing. In action when it's time for water, ain't sitting. They fighting and willing to die for a living. We check the flesh while we holy step on next to Hashatan while we rep. Our God is screaming loud so the back can hear. I hire while they running for. Glory to our God, glory to the highest God of them all. If I have breath in my body, I'm gon' serve and keep the law. I'm gon' serve, yeah, I'm gon' serve glory. I'm gon' serve glory. I'm gon' serve glory. Hey, glory to our God, glory to the highest God of them all. If I have breath in my body, I'm gon' serve and keep the law. I'm gon' serve glory. I'm gon' serve glory. I'm gon' serve glory. I'm gon' serve glory. Yeah, glory. I'm just a book inside your story. Praying I'm holy, knowing that I'm unworthy to play for your team, but I still wear my jersey. I'm not a hooper.
Let's go to Kevo the Truth.
Devotion, working so hard like as they supply, and this off the Bible my pathway alone, and for that he get the glory out of them all. If I have breath in my body, I'm God, glory to the highest God of them all. If I have breath in my body, I'm gon' serve and keep the law. I'm gon' serve glory. I'm gon' serve glory. I'm gon' serve glory. I'm gon' serve glory. Yeah.
The Father put breath in my body, he gave me life. Yeah, he knew me, that's factual. Spirit invaluable, it's undeniable. Whole nother level that you gotta tap into. My God, a capital T. Hard to perceive, promise unfathomable, unimaginable. Be not deceived. The faith is established to go in a matter of a moment. You know it, I trust where I'm going. I got the word, we compatible. Mouth for the babe who gon' babble. The truth don't be rattled. Established when devils attack. Got the axe for the battle. Get surgical, tactical. Fruits of the spirit, no rotten apple. The produce is natural, edible, affable. Can unravel the root, it ain't shallow. All it takes is a slap of the gavel. The judgment is final, no servants who master. The shepherd, the pasture, don't covet the mammon. The helmet, the armor, the withstand the arrow. From the quiver, the adversary. Fiery barbs and darts, no imaginary. No heart, no love, they wanna see me bloody Mary. Cause the blacker the berry. The traction is there, I keep stepping, I'm serving the Lord. Ain't no question, I'm very prepared. Ain't no weapon shall prosper against me. Protection a myriad, period. I'm serious as the heavens. Glory to the Father, author and finisher of the life we in. Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And yeah, y'all ain't even have to put no auto-tune on that thing. Let me tell you. Y'all murdered that thing. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you, hey. What? Straight raw lyrics, and it was jamming. Sometimes people will have lyrics, but then the beat don't jam, and it'd be like some regular old school. And I like Rakim and Nas and listen, I like all the old MCs, but sometimes every now and then somebody would come with a beat that's just so basic, and it's like the lyrics are so cold, but you want to be able to balance and jam to the beat. And then sometimes people will come nowadays with a hot beat, and they're talking about ABCs. Oh man. When you got that fine balance like what we just heard, it's beautiful. So all praises be to the Most High. Like, it was a great production. I remember the days when you can have great production and a great MC coming on the beat. Sometimes that don't exist no more. You just throw auto-tune on there, even if the person don't sound like anything, the track is going to be hard. But that's kind of cheating, though. It's not really like tapping into the spirit of the Most High. You know, it's good for the work. But I'm just saying I appreciate when I hear lyrics, King Tazawar, lyrics. You understand Quadam, the Detroit Brothers, Gaboya Allah overseas, all the way up. Man, you talking about, you know, people with lyrics, Kasadawar. I just appreciate these brothers coming with lyrics. And you got brothers in New York, they comes with lyrics. Like, so it's just a beautiful thing when we can kind of keep what the Most High called holy and true, like just keep it with that quality. So praise the Most High for y'all brothers. Y'all keep doing that work all over the Gathering of Christ Church, all over the four corners of the earth, man. Keep bringing y'all brick. Praise the Most High. I will see you guys, if it be the Most High's will, next week. We will do a Q&A on this topic that we had tonight. And, you know, it may be 30 minutes to an hour. You know, we say we're gonna stay on for a little bit. We stay on longer, but you know, and we'll make it happen. All right, guys. So peace and blessings to you guys. We're gonna get up out of here. Make sure you go to KIIYSupplements.com. Once again, if you want to get this shirt, I know this shirt been shining all day. You see that thing blinging. You already know. Go to KingMansions.store. That's my little brother, Deacon Malak. You understand what I'm saying? And if you want to get you some Lionborn fashion from Elder Rawchaa, go to lionborntees.com. You got Brugy Boutique out there. Let me remember some of them. You got Judah Wear. You got you understand? Yes, indeed. And you have who else we got out there? I want to say here. I always forget. I'm like an old man. Sometimes I just forget these things. But you got Brew Fit. Right, you got my brother out there. I forget the brother's name. You got Raphael Bush. I forgot the name of your clothing, but everyone's coming with their own brick, doing their things. People writing books, all type of stuff. Keep up the work. That's how you build a kingdom of the Most High. Bless you all and your families, and we shall soon see Zion. But you know what I'm gonna tell you. Make sure you get your mind right by going to historytimes.org.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.